particular situation is,
I agree.
then you just go right to it. You don't mess around. You don't look for any other explanation.
Nope, you don't. And for those who may not understand what I'm talking about, Skraby decided. Yeah, we know how notoriously bad Matthew Skraby is at parlays.
Yes, and every day during the Daily Gambit, he has a parlay, and every day he misses it.
He misses it. It may start off. A lot of times it does start off good, but it finishes in disaster. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Skraby decided to put together a parlay with the Padres and Xander Bogaerts, and it started off well. Xander homers. He's on his way to winning the parlay.
I was ready.
Until he wasn't. The Padres had to win in order for that parlay to be hit. They did not, and therefore it is Matthew Skraby's fault.
Yes, and very savvy listeners to this show were quick to point that out after the game last night.
Yep.
They noted that the actual parlay was Padres have to win the game, and Xander has to hit a home run. Now, Xander had not homered in back-to-back games since last July.
Yeah.
So this wasn't, it was kind of a long shot parlay. And then, Bogey hits the home run, ties the game in the second inning. And my first thought is, wow, Skraby has he's going to win his parlay. And then I realized, no, he's not. Something crazy will happen. The Padres will somehow find a way to lose this game. And he won't win the parlay.
Just because I picked the Padres to win the game, I'm so sorry, everyone.
Well, everybody noticed
I believe in the Padres.
Yeah, everybody noticed it. And they were tweeting last night. If you were, on social media during the game last night, like I said, savvy fans of this show and savvy fans of the Padres knew that the Padres were going to lose the game in the second inning last night as soon as the Bogart shot cleared the fence.
I can't win. I cannot win.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
No,
can't.
you
And
can't.
the funny thing is, had Xander not homered, Padres win. Probably because then now your parlay still
is that
doesn't
how
win.
It works?
That's exactly right.
Your parlay still doesn't win,
Yeah.
yet
No.
the Padres get a victory on the other side.
Yeah, that's probably
So it's your fault.
The thing is I can see maybe some disgruntled fans out there listening to us right now thinking, all right, you guys are really reaching. However, how else
I'm with those people.
All right, don't stop interrupting, Mr. Interrupter. The people that are out there going, okay, you guys are really reaching. I say to all of you people, how else to explain the fact that, honestly, the two most heartbreaking losses of this season, one in which they blew the lead in Denver, and then last night where they were given, golden opportunity after golden opportunity to win and yet couldn't do it. Their two most, disheartening, heartbreaking losses this season have both happened against one of the worst teams in baseball. So I would like, another explanation to, try to help us figure it out.
I would also like to bring up something that Mac Daddy is bringing up on the chat.
Mac Daddy.
So
Let me
thank
hear
you,
from Mac Daddy.
What's Mac Daddy got
Said,
to add to
Skraby,
this?
don't let them do this to you. Pull up the tape of Chris jinxing them yesterday when Chris said they're going to sweep this series. They can't not sweep this series. They have to win 3 in a row.
They did.
People got receipts, huh?
Oh yeah, they do. And when I said it, I said I know if they lose a game, I'm going to get blamed.
Yeah.
You did say that as well.
deflecting
Oh
blame.
yes. So it's look, it's both Skraby's fault, my fault. It can't be the Padres' fault. It just can't, because there's no other explanation to how these crazy things keep happening against Bud Black's determined Rockies, who have now somehow won 5 games in a row overall.
The hottest team in baseball.
Yeah,
Hottest
I know.
team in baseball,
I know.
ladies and
Not
gentlemen.
even the Padres can win
That's
5
right.
in a row.
Nobody can.
The A's have done it. The White Sox may have done it. The Rockies have done it. I just lost my mind. You guys just witnessed me lose my mind.
Well,
In all seriousness, though, this was a game that differed from what we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Let's put the offense and stuff aside. Starting pitching and clean defense. There were 3 errors in yesterday's ball game. There was, Vasquez did not throw the ball as well as he did the first couple of times out.
no, he gave up. Tony, he gave up more hits in 3 innings than the 4 Padres starters had combined in the games previous to that.
Yeah, and
So I mean, it was just one of those nights in that regard.
Yeah, so it didn't go the way the Padres had been kind of scripting their games prior to last night. And so we talk about it. Sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle of whatever that day's issue is for, the folks out there with the Padres. But the main thing remains the main thing. This team, even when it's going well, has still a small margin for error. And when you make 3 of them, at least on the defensive side, you've pretty much eaten that up already.
Yeah.
And when you don't get the starting pitching that you have been getting, you're playing from behind 8 ball. That being said, all of that happened, and they still had a chance to win. And in 3 different innings.
Yeah, it was frustrating as you can possibly get. I know people are remembering Manny, and he grounded out, and the double play, and, the whole thing in the 9th inning. But how about in the 8th inning? Campusano, batting with the bases loaded, worked it to a 3-0 count. I mean, it was 1 pitch away, and then Lawrence got a strike in, and then, I don't have a problem. Campusano got a good pitch that he thought he could get to. I thought he put a pretty good swing on it. He lined out to center field. I mean, that's going to happen. As far as Manny's concerned, I know people are mad. Why did he swing at the first pitch? Well, he swung at the first pitch in the game that he cleared the bases against the Reds, and it worked out just fine. A lot of times the first pitch is the one you can get to win the game. He just didn't win the game with that one.
I think if he got, 5 at-bats and they threw the ball in the exact same spot 5 times, he'd get like 3 hits on that one.
Yeah, it was right there.
He hit that ball hard. He just rolled over it. It just wasn't his cleanest swing, and that led to a hard-hit ground ball, which made it even easier to turn 2 on at that point. And so, despite, I know we were joking about Skraby, it being his fault, but, the Padres honestly didn't play well enough to win that game. And then they still had because, the Rockies are who they are, they still had a chance to win it.
Yes. The Rockies did everything they could to try to help. I mean, 11 walks is 11 walks, and 8 of those walks were in the last 3 innings.
That's right.
I mean, it was incredible.
That is incredible.
I mean, I thought I was watching a Little League game there for a minute.
It started out like this is a nightmare of a game. I mean, Dakota Hudson, who can't throw strikes at all, is just dealing. I mean, this dude, then he comes up with a pitch out of nowhere. He's throwing a curveball, as Jesse pointed out during the broadcast. Dude was like his least thrown pitch throughout his career. And last night he decided to throw it second most. So he makes an adjustment that I don't think – so I said this during the game last night. Everything that the Padres had been watching on film in that locker room looked nothing like what they got once they went out there and played the game. And so they had to try to make the adjustment there. They finally get him up out of there. Dakota Hudson starts to be like the real Dakota Hudson towards the end of that outing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Padres start to mount. You see they had the homers from Jackson and from Prof. They get right back in that game. The bullpen for the Rockies is walking everybody. I mean, they didn't know where the ball was going. And you could just see, Buddy just trying to figure it out. Like, I got to piece this together somehow.
The look on his face, if you had, if pictures or looks could talk.
If you had the thought bubble going up.
Could talk, yeah, whatever.
You know what I mean? Words?
I just pay attention to what you're supposed to be paying attention over there.
The show. Remember the show. You always get mad at me for not paying attention to the show?
All right.
This is what the Padres do to me and Chris when they lose.
Sit there and feel shame in the fact that you cost them a game last night.
I do want to ask this because this is the question that I've been asked so much today. And I know it's not the smartest question in the world. Tony's looking into the camera like, don't ask this question,
So you know what?
bro.
Just tell people that it's a stupid question and don't pass it along to us.
When a pitcher cannot throw a strike and is walking everyone, why does Manny not at least take one pitch to see if he throws a ball? He didn't throw a ball. He threw a strike, and Manny tried to hit the strike.
That might be the only pitch he can get.
It was a good pitch.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you want Manny to go up there looking to walk?
No, we've already done that.
Because if Juan Soto was batting and walked in that situation, people would have been upset with that.
No, you would have crushed him.
All right.
You don't want any hitter of his caliber coming up looking to walk. You can't do it.
Now, okay, so can you answer the question about why you're not looking for a pitch?
He didn't swing at a ball. He swung at a strike. So, I mean, ultimately, I don't know what the argument is. If the question is, should he just go up there and look for 4 balls?
No. The question is, should he have gone up there and forced the pitcher to throw a strike?
I mean, if let's say he goes up there, he forces the pitcher to throw a strike, then what? Now he has free reign to swing whenever he wants.
Well, now it's like, okay, pitcher may found the strike zone, so now Manny's going to look for something.
Now the Padre fans that are going to be criticizing you on Twitter have less to criticize you about.
No, I got criticism from everywhere, Chris.
Why are you getting it? You didn't swing at the first pitch. It was
As
a good
I said,
pitch to
I
hit.
didn't know the exact miles per hour. I just knew he hit it hard.
It was 105
off the bat.
Yeah.
The pitch was like, I mean, it's a homer pitch. It's
is.
like belt high, inner. It's not even inside corner, inner third. He just rolled over. It's the pitch you want him swinging at. That's a pitch that could have very well been off the Western Metal Supply Company.
And we're talking about a walk-off grand slam.
Yeah. I mean, that is if in a perfect world you're going to this, man, I hope he throws this ball right here. That's exactly where you want it.
And it's not all Manny's fault because you guys have already said
It ain't
there was plenty of opportunities to drive in some guys.
Exactly. That's a team loss right there.
Now they were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position last night, and as Tony said, they didn't play clean on defense. They didn't get really good starting pitching. This time they got great bullpen. Right, 5 in the third innings,
bullpen
1 hit. The
out.
bullpen was incredible on a day when the starter wasn't good, so they got to try to work that and get that on the same page. But they didn't play well enough to win the game, and they still only almost won it.
I ultimately think that's where the conversation should start and end. Right, is if they played anywhere near the way they played the last, 9 games, we'll just say, they win that game. But if I pretty much willing to say moving forward every game after this, if we have a conversation and it starts with, man, they didn't play a clean game, I'm going to say that most of those games are going to be games that the Padres lose. And clean game is not just talking about the errors, it's talking about all of it.
Manuel is asking on the chat, or he's not asking, it's a statement. All these excuses for Manny. Come on, that dude has never been clutch. I'm going to ask the guys in the Big Five if Manny's still clutch.
All right.
I don't know what.
Who is this?
Manuel.
Manuel.
Oh,
both. He's a fellow Manuel.
Is he? How could you attack your own Manuel?
Fellow
That's
Manuel
messed
attacking
up.
another Manuel.
You got to have your
Manuel
Manuel's
on
back.
Manuel crime.
I do get.
That's just short-term memory, right?
It is short-term memory.
I don't want to. I'm not even going to dignify that with too many.
It's pretty hard to dignify that with a response when the man is clutch enough to have 966 career RBIs. I find it a little hard to believe that he was able to drive any of those in and not be somewhat clutch.
I was sent a video today on YouTube that was titled "Manny Machado is a lazy player." And I'm like, what?
Wait, stop. Run that back. Somebody sent you that?
Yes, they sent me the video to prove to me that Manny Machado is not the player I think he is. And it said the title was "Manny Machado is a lazy player."
Well, the good news is we're already.
And it was sorry.
hilarious.
I have to go ahead and say the video was just like random plays from like the thousands of games that he's played. So it's
here's the good news. We've already parted company with Xander Bogaerts. We're going to give him away for nothing. Now we might as well just throw Manny Machado in and give him away for nothing, too. Because this team will be a whole lot better off. You fans are crazy. I got to be honest with you. You're absolutely flat out crazy.
I'm crazy, too. But I have to realize that if they win tonight, I'm going to feel okay.
You know what? You know what? Go ahead, go through your emotional roller coaster. That's fine. That's on you. You have that. I can't live life like that.
I can't either. That's why I'm slowly developing into the baseball mind, because the ups and downs of a day in, day out, win, lose, what's my emotions is too much. It's too much.
Right.
Greasy says send everyone down, so that's the answer.
Sit all 26
all of them.
down.
Just go. Just go.
Let's bring up the El Paso. Was it Chihuahuas?
Yes,
bring up the Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
I think that'll go over real well. All right, let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the way. What we got up next, fellas? I don't have my.
I actually have a couple of questions about last night's game that we have not yet discussed.
Okay.
Oh.
And I will. And these are I think a little more legit questions than the craziness that's going around out there.
All right, let's talk about
we'll
some of these
the judge
legit
of that.
questions when we return. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Stay up to date with
Hi, welcome back to the program. We are underway. 2:22 is the time. Happiest of Tuesdays to you. Colorado Rockies, Bud Black, has put in his lineup for tonight's game. It'll be the exact same lineup as they used last night against Randy Vasquez and the Padres. Rockies tonight will be taking on one of the best pitchers in baseball, Dylan Cease, for the Friars this evening. Cal Quantrill, the former Padre, who's actually pitched well of late, will pitch for Colorado tonight. Padre lineup is not yet in. Tony Gwynn Jr. is out at Petco Park. Crisello, Matt Skraby here together in the Odyssey Palace studios.
The Padre lineup is in on my scorecard.
You've got it. All right,
No,
well,
I don't have it. I'm
you
guessing.
You're
he's
guessing.
Oh.
I'm guessing.
All right,
let's hear it.
what are you guessing?
I'm guessing the same lineup as
Same as last night?
My guess is that they are wanting to check on Kim, see how he's feeling today.
Okay. Make
And
sure
if
he's
he-
okay.
If he's good to go, I think we'll have the same line.
Lineup
So
be
I'm-
good- lineup
that's
be
what
good
I'm
to go.
banking on.
I would think so. Look, the lineup got 11 walks last night, but
You
they
know,
only
the
got
trend
4
that I-
hits. It was crazy, but it's hard to get hits when their balls are being thrown all over the place like that.
Yeah, they're a little effectively wild, maybe a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, the trend that I'm seeing and enjoying, and it's been going on for a little bit, is the lack of punch on in the Padres lineup. They just aren't punching out a lot. I mean, outside of
strikeouts, you mean
outside
punch.
of the Lodolo outing, which he was carving them up, they don't strike out a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, what, 4 last night?
Got 4 last night, yeah. Put the ball in play. Normally, good things happen, as it turned out last night. 2 of the last 3 innings, you hit into a double play.
Yeah.
Brings up my first question, Tony.
Yes.
And this was a first guess, but there was no one in the room with me, so I couldn't get anybody to confirm this. But after Campusano and Kim reached to begin the bottom of the 7th inning, down by a run, after the Merrill homered to
Merrill
make it
homered,
5-4. And then-
Campy walked, Kim walked.
Right. So 2 on, nobody out, down by 1, pitcher on the ropes. I thought, even though it's Luis Ariz, a sacrifice bunt would have been a wonderful play there. And continue the pressure on the Rockies, get the tying run to third, get the go-ahead run at second, and count on Fernando or Jake to drive them in. And, they didn't, and that's okay. I'm not going to be angry about it. But I did think a sac bunt would have worked there. Ariz hit the ball again, hard ground ball, double play, kind of short circuited the rally. So I guess I was right, but that's neither here nor there. Did you think about bunt there at all? I know it's
No.
Ariz, so it's
No,
hard
I mean,
to do.
Unless you in 1989 you're having Tony Gwynn bunt in that same situation, then no,
Okay.
I'm not thinking about bunting there. I mean, you don't trade for a guy like that to have him. Let me say that back. That's not true. You could. There are situations certainly where Luis Ariz will bunt. He's shown bunt a few times since he's been here.
Okay.
But I just think that's one of the best hitters in the league. I don't know that you want to take it out of his hands to bunt. I know Toddy's behind him, and Toddy wasn't having the best day offensively, behind him, but he's such a huge threat that, yeah, I could see the thought, but I personally didn't think about it.
Okay. Second question, and let's premise this by saying Jackson Merrill had
So that was just for the first one.
a prominent I'm not paying any attention to you whatsoever. As far as I know, you're not even here. Here's the second question. Jackson Merrill had a really good game. In fact, I don't know how many more fly balls he could have run down. He ran down about 6 or 7 of them. He started a double play at a home run. But there was one pop-up that he didn't catch. And it turned out to score the 5th Rockies run, which was important. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm asking you, Tony, center fielder. He's coming in on that pop fly. Fernando's racing in from the side. Is that experience that Jackson Merrill will say next time, hey, I'm just getting it no matter what because I'm the center fielder? Because it looked like he pulled up just a little bit. And I'm not trying to be critical. I'm trying to learn and try to teach everybody out there.
I don't think it's being critical. Personally, I think it's important to remember it's his first year out there. That
Yeah.
being said, his routes weren't good last night, and on all those balls that he went and got, they weren't crispy. You know, the one that he had to make the kind of over shoulder catch, you know, he put himself in the situation where he had to make it. On the play you're talking about, I don't have a problem with Toddy going to get it. I think once Jackson realizes he can't get there, he's got to pull up sooner so that Toddy knows he's not coming anymore. Because when they showed the replay, neither of them looked like they were moving their mouths in terms of communicating, I got it, I got it, I got it.
Right.
And so in those situations, listen, and sometimes in the outfield, there are situations where you're not sure if you can get it. So you're not calling anything per se because you don't want to take the chance for somebody else to get away with it. But sometimes what happens is when nobody says anything, as you start getting closer, of course, you're a human being. You start thinking, man, this man might run into me. Let me kind of start peeling off. But I think what happened was they both did that at the same time, both thinking one was going to get it, the other wasn't, which is why the communication thing is so important.
Yeah.
It just seemed like yesterday those two weren't like dialed in the same way that we've seen them sometimes. I think towards after those situations happened, they kind of got on the same page, and they were able to navigate it a little bit. But that ball in particular, Toddy had a beat on it, and I think he just kind of he started to kind of question whether Jackson was coming or not. And because Jackson didn't peel off earlier or at least tell him, go ahead, take it, I think that's why that ball ends up dropping in.
Fernando did actually comment about it after the game. Kevin Acee put it in his newsletter, and he basically just said, two fast guys going full speed, not trying to take the other guy out.
Yeah, so that's communication right there. They're both not sure if they can get to it, so they don't want to call it. But as the center fielder, and again, this is a new spot for him, that's where he's got to either let Toddy know, go ahead, get to it if you can, or take it himself and just, risk it you not being able to get to it. But having that ball fall, I mean, as it turns out, it would be the winning run.
I want to hear the buzzer for another stupid question. Thank you.
No, that was a good question.
Of course it was.
Oh, well, I still want to.
Boom. You're such a jerk.
Fine, I'll give Chris
I just want
a good
everybody,
buzzer.
I want everybody to take note. I want everyone out there who says, you got to be nicer to Skraby. I want you to take note of the kind of stuff that we have to put up with on a daily basis that the rest of you don't seem to pay attention to. Got to be nicer to Skraby. He's the best. He's the best guy.
It's
no,
true.
He's not.
It's
he's
true.
out there trying to find holes in everything. And if he even senses that he might have, an opening, he pounces.
Man, this loss last night, just judging by the chat, guys, there's another baseball game tonight. They could win. They could win tomorrow. Then they win the fifth straight series.
Season's over, Scrape. It's over.
They win the fifth straight series if they win the next two games.
Season's over. Season's over, Scrape. Let's start talking about the NFL.
Well, the good news is the first 49er game will be against the Jets on a Monday night in San Francisco.
Showtime!
Are they piecemealing the schedule to us again
a little
right
bit.
now?
I hate this.
We got
I do too.
I know we got the Monday night game. The opener is 49ers hosting Jets.
Yeah. Dolphins also playing the Bills on Thursday Night Football.
49ers at Jets or Jets at 49ers?
I'm not actually
It's
sure.
at 49ers.
Okay, it's at 49ers.
Oh, my man. Aaron Rodgers about to walk into that bad boy and hand the 49ers their first L of the season.
Yeah, hey.
You're just assuming that the Jets are going to come in ready to go with a guy who wants to be vice president? And
You got the former 49er defensive coordinator loaded for bear, Robert Saleh. Coming into San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, he's coming in to get his old team in his own stomping ground.
He kind of lost.
Hey, real quick, did you guys see that the Jets had tried to basically go around? What's the coordinator's name for the Jets?
Hackett.
They tried to hire somebody under a different title that would basically take over his duties. They weren't able to actually pull it off, though. Unfortunately, I think. They've lost faith in Daniel.
Well, it's a good
Nathaniel, excuse me.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
Well,
Hey, you
everybody's
can
lost
play your
faith in
sounder,
that.
man. The Padres lineup just went up.
Oh, here we go.
I was correct.
It's the same exact
We'll
one.
just leave it at that. Yep.
I just think it's fun to talk about football and tonight's WNBA opener, Stanley Cup playoffs, since apparently the
Season's
baseball
over.
season's over.
It's over.
So
Let's move on.
I know I'm going to be at the game tonight.
for some reason,
so.
Sam Levitt will be doing a pregame show at about 5:30 today. But there's
He's
really no
doing it.
need. Somebody call Sammy and tell him to stay home.
Stay home, Sam. You're off the hook for the rest of the season.
Zeb, you don't have to work. You get paid for nothing now.
And I
at
know
this
people are
point.
probably like, these guys are just being jerks, like laughing at us. No, I feel your pain, but it's also baseball, and it's not the end of the world.
I mean, you got to turn the page. It happened. They lost. They got to play again today.
Yeah, they do. And Manny Machado could go 4 for 4 with 2 home runs. We
Most
don't know.
He won't
unclutched
do it. He
guy
won't do it
in
if
the
he has to
history of
bat in the
baseball,
clutch.
apparently.
Late and close, he's not going to do it, Chris.
No, he may do it if they lead 16-0. And it's not clutch.
Someone's commenting on the glove of the closer for the Rockies. Said it was an unusually large glove. Did anybody recognize that?
The lefty, he did have kind of a big glove. I thought I noticed it, but I wasn't 1,000% sure. But yeah, he definitely had a big glove. You know his glove was nice. Vasquez has a kind of cool little glove. He's got seams on his glove.
and
I don't
that's
know why
got
I
to be
brought that
custom
up.
made, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, when we come back, Skraby's up against it. Tony's up against it because actually Skraby's the defending champ of Chris's Fantabulous
Champ!
Sports
Wait, did you
Game
win last
Show.
week?
Champ is here.
Oh, that's right. We
weeks
just kind of
ago.
went back and forth in last week's
2 weeks ago,
game.
yes. It was a topic that I was really good at.
Tony, please win today because he's really hard to deal with right now.
Champ is here.
Take a break, champ.
Oh, okay, that's for me.
Odyssey Palace Studios. Gwynn and Chris, and we have a Fantabulous Sports Game Show coming up. Now, Skraby did win the last Fantabulous Sports Game Show. His second or third victory this year. As somebody pointed out in the chat, that pulls him within 46 victories of Tony in the race for the overall championship.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Another little hot streak, Skraby, and you'll be right there.
You're 46 out.
You're right
close.
there.
Just got to chip away.
I don't know who's closer, the Rockies to fourth place or you to Tony. It's kind of a question there. So we'll get into the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. I do want to remind everybody, coming up on the show an hour from right now, and I think it's very appropriate today. We got Caitlin Clark making her WNBA debut today, women's sports, WNBA, the whole thing. Well, we're going to have on the show for you today at 3:40, probably, and boy, this might be saying something, but one of the very best female athletes we have in this city going to be on the show an hour from right now. So stick around for that. But
you guys just gonna leave us hanging on
I'm going to leave you hanging on that. You're going to have to tune in to find out who it is. That's right.
Okay.
You're going to have to tune in to find out who I'm anointing as one of the best women athletes in San Diego. It's coming up an hour from right now. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Tough subject today. Lace them up.
Hey, all you beautiful people out there, it's time to play one of our favorite games of the week.
All right!
We like to call it...
Ooh, I'm going to go.
Chris's Fantabulous Sports Game Show! And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go. You can play along out there, see how well you do against the guys. They're going to compete against each other. And I'll give the topic here shortly. They'll begin naming right answers, hopefully, and alternating. There are 15 correct answers today, so the first person who gets 8 correct will win. Either that, or if you miss one, you get a strike, and 3 strikes, you're out. I think this is a tough one today, guys. You're going to have to really bear down here.
All right.
The category today, you have to name the 15 top pitchers in the major leagues right now, currently in ERA. That's right. There are 15 pitchers that have an ERA of 2.53 or less. And the difficult part of this, I got to tell you, Yu Darvish, for example, doesn't quite qualify.
Doesn't have enough starts or enough innings.
Doesn't have enough innings. The pitchers to qualify have to have 1 innings pitch for each game.
What?
You have to have 1 innings pitched for each game that your team has played to qualify. Darvish comes up short by just a couple of innings right now. So just for an example, don't give me a reliever, and I'm telling you, don't give me Yu Darvish. He's not going to qualify.
Okay.
So it's the 15 qualifying pitchers, but you're looking for guys that are off to a really good start, obviously, this year on the mound.
All of a sudden, my head has gone blank.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be tough because there's some crazy names in there.
I got 1.
You got 1?
Yes.
Well, you're going to need to come up with a few more than that probably to win. Tony, do you want to go first or?
Yeah.
No!
I'm going to go first.
Go to Skraby.
I'm going first.
He's
on
going
this
first.
one.
He's not messing around. All right, name one of the top ERA
15
guys.
ERA leader. That's what we're going
In
with.
Major League Baseball, both American and National League, and they obviously have to have enough innings to qualify.
How about Ranger Suarez?
He's way up there. Ranger Suarez is number 3 in baseball right now.
Thankfully, you didn't take mine.
He's got a 1.50 ERA. He also has a 7-0 record. I would say that Ranger Suarez has probably been...
Real quick, can we just do last names on this bad boy?
Yes, I will take last names.
All right.
Because this is too tough. Ranger Suarez also has a 0.72 whip. So statistically, he's been the best pitcher in all of baseball to this point.
Yeah, we saw that firsthand here.
Yeah, that's right. He came in and shut down the Padres. All right, Skraby, come up with a low ERA guy. You play fantasy baseball.
Yes, I do.
You should have a couple of the guys, guys
they're
on your
not on
roster.
my team because my team is terrible
All
this
right.
year. Imanaga.
Oh, you took my next one.
Imanaga.
I was really hoping you didn't say that guy.
Shota's,
Dang it.
Shota's ERA is 0.96. which
Yeah, he
is
shut out
off
the Braves.
the
Or he didn't
charts.
shut out the Braves, but I don't think he gave up a run yesterday.
Yeah, he threw 5 innings of scoreless baseball.
Scoreless,
Yesterday.
that's what I'm looking at.
The only guy to get a hit off him all year, I think, is Jurickson Profar, practically. The way he's pitched at Wrigley Field last week. All right, you guys each have one. How many more can you get of the top 15 ERA, easy for me to say, earned run average guys in baseball? Tony.
How about the guy pitching tonight for the Pods? A little Dylan Cease for
Dylan
you.
Cease,
Why didn't
yeah.
I even think of that?
You didn't even think of that one?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was kind of an easy one. 2.19 for Dylan Cease. He ranks 7th in all of Major League Baseball. Tony takes a 2-1 lead. I told you it's a tough category. Skraby, come up with some pitchers that are off to really good starts.
Padres also saw this guy.
Oh, you have another one now all of a sudden.
I do. Barrios
Jose Barrios
of the Blue Jays.
of the Blue Jays.
I know he was really good there for a
That
second.
was a really good guess, but he got blown up in his last start.
And that took him over?
Yeah.
That is the problem with this early. You have one bad start, it'll move you right on out of that top 15 now, won't it?
Yeah, he's at 2.8.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
2.82.
I'm in trouble.
So he's a little- 2.82.
I'm in trouble.
Not quite in the top 15.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Get that for yourself there,
Get
sir.
yourself a buzzer.
Sir?
All right, catalog through your head, Skrabe.
I'm
While
going.
Tony's thinking, these are guys. We've talked about quite a few of them being off to good starts this year. They're not all no-name guys. Tony.
How about former Pod, Seth Lugo?
Very good, Tony's paying attention.
That's a good one.
Seth Lugo's been really good. 4th best ERA in all of baseball.
He has been-
1.66.
He had been begging to be a starter for who knows how long, and he's getting his opportunity. We got a piece of it last year watching him.
Yeah.
Now he's full-blown starter now.
48 Ks, 12 walks, 0.96 whip, 6-1, leading the Royals back to respectability. Seth Lugo, for sure. All right, it's 3-1, Skraby. You said before the game you knew one, and you've proven that to this point. Can you come up with another?
That was uncalled for.
I don't think so.
What about the guy we saw on Friday night, Tyler Glasnow?
I like it, Skraby. I like the way you're thinking.
But it's incorrect.
You do the worst impression of my voice, I think, of anybody on earth.
But it's incorrect.
And guess what? It's correct.
Yay!
Tyler Glasnow is right on
I
the cusp.
can't with you two.
I know. He's right on the cusp. 2.53. He just qualified in that category. He's 6-1 with that 2.53 ERA. Tied for 14th, 15th in baseball. So he is a winner, Skraby. And it's 3-2 in favor of Tony. Tony, you got another one?
I actually do. I only know this one because we're represented by the same agent.
Oh man, that's a whole nother
That's
level
an
of studying
unfair
right
level
there.
of.
It is. It's the only
That's
reason
fine.
why I
I
would
mean,
know
that's-
this, though.
That's happened. That's what happens.
Trevor Williams.
Trevor Williams.
I know he's having off to a good start this year.
He's off to a great start this year. He's not on the list, however.
What? I
And,
think that's incorrect.
well,
Is that
I have the
incorrect?
official list in front of me, so I will look him up since you're concerned. Because I will agree with you, Tony. He does seem like he's off to a tremendously good start. He doesn't quite qualify at 36 innings pitched so far. So despite his 1.96 ERA, he's not among the ERA leaders.
That's some bull.
That is.
It's a string.
Fair enough.
Now, wait a minute, I could go John Tumpain on you. Ha!
Oh, the Reaper?
The Reaper. All right, 3-2, Skraby. An opening for you to perhaps tie it up here.
There's an opening, Scrape.
You can think of somebody.
Can I say first name? And the first name is very.
No. Ain't no first
No,
name.
the first name is very recognizable.
Nah.
Nah, he says.
Well, I'm going to hear what you do, and I'll
Yeah,
decide.
let the judge actually be the one to.
What
Well,
you got?
that's a real. I don't want to go and guess something that might be dead from the beginning.
Well, give us
I
your
don't know.
first name.
I mean, is that the best sketch you get? You don't know the guy's last name?
I'm trying to
But do you
think
know
of
him on
it.
a first name basis
No,
only?
I just know that I played him against him in the show the other night.
Then you should definitely know his last name.
can't
Last
think of his
names are
last
all up on the
name.
board.
Well, the first name is very, very recognizable.
Okay, what
and
is it?
And I'll give you the team he plays for. He plays for the Red Sox. Cutter.
I'm going to give you this
I don't know
one.
who that is.
I'm giving it
Cutter.
to him. He's on my fantasy team. Cutter Crawford is his
I
name.
thought it was Crawford, but I thought it was
stop
wrong.
it.
No, I swear to you.
Hey, listen. When I said Hungary, I thought I knew the name too. I just went ahead and said it.
Okay, good point. Is that right, Chris?
He is among the
Yes,
leaders.
Wow.
He's taking a bell.
I really just.
Do you notice how he just put the bell in there before we...
Oh, I thought you said he's among the leaders.
Yeah, I know. But he hardly came up with his name. Cutter Crawford. All right,
So that's
3-3.
that's okay.
I don't know what else to do. I'm between a rock and a hard place.
That's fine.
All right.
How about
That's fine.
I faced him in the show. Cutter.
was it a
Ruined me.
pitch?
Ruined me.
How about the young kid, the only bright spot so far for the Astros? I think it's Ronel Blanco.
Oh, very good, Tony Gwynn Jr. Yeah, threw a no-hitter. Blanco is correct, 2.23, just ahead of said Cutter. So Blanco is correct. Eighth in baseball. Tony leads 4-3. Skraby. We
I
gotta-
even know that he spells it with a K, right? Cutter?
All right, very good.
No, I'm
Skraby.
just
You-
making sure that Tony knows I knew who I was talking about.
Well, you sure did.
Yeah,
Now,
whatever.
Come up with another
Here comes
one.
another weird name, but I don't know if it's correct because
Well,
I haven't
just
You
checked
better
out
not be a
lately.
first name this time. I know
No,
that.
I got both names.
All right.
Tariq Skubal.
Tariq Skubal.
Oh, Detroit.
You know what he's doing. He knows my fantasy team better than I do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
but-
also have him on my fantasy team. It's amazing that I've lost so many games despite his presence. That's correct. 2.02.
Here we
Tariq
go.
Skubal for the Detroit Tigers.
That's all right. You're going to run out
I
eventually. I
am,
already
but
know
here
that.
we go.
Tied 4-4. We got one strike apiece. Tony.
Can I
There's
bleed
7
him yet?
correct answers
Let me
yet.
bleed him. Bet. I'm going to bleed you out on this
He's
one.
going to
Scrape.
bleed me out, he says.
How
Punch
about,
him.
I really enjoyed watching this guy's 2 starts this year because he is a converted closer. How about Jordan Hicks
Ooh,
of the
that's
Giants?
That's on my
Is he
fantasy
in the
team.
hunt?
I should have known that. Yes, he definitely is.
Jordan Hicks pitched last night
Didn't give up a run, I don't
against the
think.
Dodgers. Lowered his ERA to 2.44, getting him inside the top 15.
Wow, that's a good one. I should have known
He's
that
12th. He is actually on your fantasy team, and you didn't know it.
one.
You
Slip
didn't
my
get that
mind,
one?
Chris.
All right.
Slip my mind.
5-4, Tony leads. Skraby, your turn with 1 strike apiece. You guys have gotten a lot more of these than I thought. There's 6 correct answers left. I don't want to say these are no-name guys. Some of them aren't. Some of them kind of are. So best of luck to you two gentlemen and to anybody out there who might be trying to think of the other ones.
All right, I'm just going to say it, and this might... Wait, do I have 2 strikes or 1
You
strike?
have 1 strike.
Okay.
So you can take a wild shot
You know
here.
what? He's on my fantasy team. I've been watching him. He's done really well, but I don't know if he's under the limit. George Kirby.
George Kirby, you say?
Yes.
From the Mariners.
Correct.
George Kirby.
Correct.
I'm looking for him, Scrabe. I don't see him
Uh-oh.
on the list. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah.
George Kirby's
Not
been-
correct. Let me just, but let me just triple
No, it's
check.
okay, Chris.
No, because he's
I
having
trust
a.
you.
He's,
I
I
trust
know.
you.
Well, you're not trusting me. You're trusting the list here. George Kirby's actually at 3.58.
Oh, that's
He's got a
higher
really
than I
good
thought.
whip. 0.95 whip, but his ERA is high.
Higher than I thought.
All right, so 2-1, Skraby. In the strike department, Tony leads 5-4. Tony got another one. May not need another one, but
How about
tighten the screws here.
Zach Wheeler?
Zach Wheeler. He's
I was
a good
thinking
pitcher.
about him, but I just didn't know.
He's tied with Glass now at 2.53. That is correct.
I should have just said
He
it.
sneaks into the top 15.
Woo,
Tied
barely
with
got
Tyler
in
Glass
there.
now. Yeah.
Should have just said it.
Tony leads 6-4. Skraby, this is do or die for you. There's 5 correct answers left. You need to come up with one of them right now. You have 2 strikes. I'm
I'm gonna
can't
go.
say it.
I'm gonna go.
I
Just
can't say it because you're going to get so angry. Go ahead.
You gave me a hint there.
Maybe.
I'm gonna get angry.
Oh, yes, you are.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just gonna say Logan Webb.
Logan Webb, always a good guess. only not this time. Logan Webb has stumbled a little bit, especially on the road. He's got an ERA of 3.38. So you have struck out, Skrabe. The game is over. Tony Gwynn Jr. returns to the championship winner's circle.
Well, one step forward, one step back.
It's okay, Skrabe. You
I
still
actually
won
did
the
better than
last
I
one.
thought.
Here are the ones that you
Can I guess one more?
guys didn't get.
Max Fried?
No.
Okay.
Some guy named Gill for the
Hey,
Yankees.
is your former Rocky on there, John Gray?
Yep. I was
Really?
coming to him.
Wow.
The guy from the
Tony's
Yankees.
snapping.
The guy from the Yankees named Luis Gill.
I don't know who that is.
I can't
2.51.
say I've ever heard of him.
John
either.
Gray of the Rangers now, 236. Tanner Houck of Boston, 224. The guy from Tijuana pitches for the Cubs now. His name
Assad.
is Javier Assad, 1.70.
Forgot
And
about
then
him.
the number 2 guy in ERA in all of baseball who is on Skraby's fantasy baseball team, because I told Skraby to draft him when he was a free agent. And I'm pretty sure you listened to me and got this guy,
The guy for the Braves?
Reynaldo Lopez. Number
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I mean, I didn't really know that he was that good, to be honest.
2. He's on your own team. You think you'd notice that he's pitching pretty well.
Yeah, I do.
To
I
a
do.
1.
Maybe that's why his team sucks this year, because he doesn't know who
No,
he has on
it's
his
probably
team.
because they have 7 guys on the IL at all
You got
times.
a guy with a 1.34 ERA on your own team, and you didn't know it.
I didn't honestly think he qualified.
On we go to
Yeah, okay,
hour
all right.
number 2 on Gwynn and Chris. wiped again.
Oh, whoa. That means something else.
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports. Yes! With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, welcome into hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris for this Tuesday. Chris Ella, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park, where tonight the Padres will once again face their nemesis, the Colorado Rockies. Matt Skraby alongside here in the Odyssey Palace Studios. In the first hour of the program, we found out that Manny Machado apparently is not clutch, never has been, and if he was, he never will be again. We also found out that the we've just found out that the season's over, so it really doesn't matter whether or not Manny Machado is ever clutch again. And if you still think the season is going, well, then it's convenient because we found Mr. Skraby to blame last night's loss on. It was the only thing we could truly think of.
Well, that and that you predicted a series sweep. You said it was guaranteed that they would sweep the Rockies.
Guarantee. I never
had
said
extras
that.
on
You
my
also said the Rockies wouldn't score last night, so
I didn't think
more.
I didn't think the Rockies would score in the series, let alone last night. So, the way the Padres starting pitching has been, I'm hoping that the Rockies won't score again in the series. Starting with Dylan Cease on the mound tonight, Cal Quantrill pitches for Colorado. A couple of quick baseball notes to catch everybody up on what's going on. Rhys Hoskins of the Brewers going to have MRI on his hamstring.
Ooh.
He could miss some time. Giants did put outfielder. What's his name, Scrape?
Kim?
Jung-Ho Lee?
Jung-Ho
Lee?
Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jung-Ho Lee. 10-day injured list. Ran into the fence making a catch the other day. Shoulder separated on him.
Ugh.
I know that wall looks like it's like really soft and cuddly.
No good.
It's really not though.
It's not
It's
cuddly.
it's not cuddly.
I can't
It's
take a
not
nap
cuddly
on
at
it.
all.
Nothing
Yeah, no,
cuddly about it.
You can run into it somewhat hard, but if you go full tilt, something's not going to feel good.
Yeah, he's out for a little while. Cubs lose former closer Alberto Alzolay. Forearm goes to the Cubs injured list. And the other thing that we wanted to talk about in this segment, and we'll get to the Daily Gambit in a little bit, but Trevor Bauer name keeps on surfacing in the Major League Baseball world. He really, really desperately wants back in to the big leagues. He's doing everything he can do. And maybe he's just hoping that time will finally be on his side, Tony.
Yeah.
He just real quick to finish up, he claims that everybody in baseball wants him back in except for the owners. And they're the ones that are blackballing him.
Yeah. First, I'm gonna read the tweet that he put out,
Okay.
just so we can kind of understand what's going on. He says, "There's not a single MLB team out there that has 3 starters better than me, let alone 5. And I'm as cheap or cheaper than any of them since I'm willing to play for the minimum. And even though I have the support of players, coaches, fans, managers, and GMs league-wide, every time they go to the owner to sign me, they're told no. Makes you wonder who is telling all the owners not to sign me." I'll only say this. If indeed players, coaches, fans, managers, GMs all want him back, and GMs are walking into the office and are asking owners, and the owners are the ones saying no, there is no recourse for that. You know what I'm saying? If it's one thing if he didn't, the people who were taking the message up to the owners aren't taking it up because they don't want to be told no, or they don't want it to look bad. If the owners are indeed actually saying, nah, we're not doing it, ain't no convincing them otherwise at this point.
Does he have any? Can he file some sort of right to work lawsuit against baseball owners?
I'm not a lawyer, so
yeah.
I don't.
You just play one on the radio. Okay, I get you.
I don't actually know that answer, but
right.
I do know that, if owners are saying that, they feel like it's going to affect their bottom line. I think that's how they make decisions typically, right? when it comes
Typically,
to like
yes, I'd say
when
almost
it comes
more
to
than
like
typically.
can we sign this guy? That's a
yes, are we
decision.
going to lose ticket sales by signing this guy?
What type of backlash will
And
we
I
get?
think
Now,
that they're all coming up with a very similar response. But how? Let's just say that Trevor's right, and let's say that everything that's happened with Trevor's happened, and we all feel like we feel about him, and maybe he's right. Maybe the players that he's talked to his face have said, "Yeah, we want you to come back," as if they're going to tell him to his face, "No, we don't want you to come back." But let's just say that that's true. And let's say that the fans he's even talked to want him to come back. The Cleveland Browns signed Deshaun Watson
For a second, I was like, what? The Browns?
to one of the richest contracts in, football, and just basically laughed at the potential backlash toward that.
they did.
Right? And so that's why I'm asking, can a baseball team laugh at the supposed backlash and bring in Trevor Bauer? And I don't know that the answer is yes, because I think football's different.
I was about to say, I think it shows you how much more ruthless NFL owners are compared to the rest, right? Because that's a great point. Deshaun Watson, I think, ultimately looked far worse than Trevor Bauer going into their situation after their situations happened, right?
Right.
Yet the Cleveland Browns owner was like, "Ha, I don't care nothing about anything y'all have to say. I'm signing this dude, and not only am I signing him, I'm going to give him fully guaranteed," which is something we don't even do in the NFL, right? Nobody's done this. This is just us. We're going to set a precedent for just us doing this, right?
Yeah, for a
Whereas-
very deserving young man.
Right, right. So you compare that, or you contrast it with this situation, and no owners, according to Trevor Bauer, I don't know this. I'm basing this off of his tweet, are saying, nah, it's too risky. I think it shows you the different type of owner you're dealing with in baseball versus football. And in Trevor's case, all of the things have really worked out in his favor in terms of the legal system on this. Unlike Deshaun Watson, well, I don't know, Deshaun's was never really a legal, I guess, situation other than a civil situation. Correct? If I'm
don't
not
believe
mistaken.
it became
Yeah, it's-
criminal, but I'm not 100%.
The only thing I
sure.
remember is the court of public opinion, in which case both people, Deshaun and Trevor, look bad and are both guilty.
Right, and so let's base it off of that. Court of
Yeah.
public opinion.
Yeah.
In one case, the people who made the decision were like, I don't care about the public opinion. In the other case, it seems like, according to Trevor Bauer, that all the owners are like, yes, I care about the public opinion on this, and we're going to pass. Because I don't necessarily disagree with him, right? I mean, at least the way he's looked in the times we've seen him, he certainly looks like he's got the kind of stuff that can be helpful to any team.
Right?
But it just seems like no one is willing to take a risk on going after him.
I know. We could ask the question again, which we've asked a dozen times already, to the listeners and everybody out there. If the Padres were to say, that's the fifth starter we need, would that keep anybody from going to games?
I think there are more supporters than we are maybe
Supporters
thinking.
of
I
Trevor
actually
Bauer.
believe a lot of what he says in his tweet. I don't know that it's all players or all coaches or all GMs, but I definitely think there's a segment of each of those categories that are in support of him coming back and playing for somebody. But it seems like the powers that be are saying, we'll pass for now.
Yeah. Well, the I don't know if this matters, but I think a lot of my own personal opinion about Trevor Bauer is born out of the fact that from the long distance away in which I watch him perform when he was performing, the guy seems like kind of a goofball. And I don't know whether he is or not, but he does pitch with one eye closed or both eyes closed. He does a lot of really weird stuff. He says a lot of weird stuff. He acts kind of off kilter. I don't know if that factors into this whole thing or not, but
You mean you have to think it has something to do with it, because
Yeah.
let's put the situations aside that he's had to deal with, right? He'd been in 4 teams in a pretty short span of time, right? Diamondbacks,
yes, he was.
Guardians,
He went everywhere, yeah.
Reds, and then the Dodgers. And at least in a few of those spots, he wasn't necessarily like well liked by his teammates. At least that's what was reported, especially in L.A. So I don't know. I know him and Francona butted heads when he was in Cleveland a little bit. And so I maybe all of that has a mix with it. But in terms of his talent, he's definitely not being dishonest.
Doesn't seem there's a lot of argument there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question that the Padres could plug him in the number 5 spot right now with very little hesitation.
I think baseball is they're creating fuzzy lines because what's going to happen when someone in the future has a similar situation to Trevor Bauer? Are they going to keep him out of baseball for all time? Like, that's the precedent they're setting, right?
The fuzzy line, bro. Baseball's been playing for like 100 years. If they ain't created any fuzzy lines in
I
in
mean,
that
like how
time
they deal
frame,
with I mean like how they're dealing with athletes. Because Marcelo Zuna, we can bring that up, and he's still playing baseball. Everything seems to be okay with him.
But again, look, he's lucky because the same team that all that stuff happened with decided to hang on to him. My guess is that there would be teams that would be very reluctant to bring him on if it wasn't the Braves that we were talking about.
No, that makes sense. I didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It that way.
If Trevor had not been and he wasn't a free agent when all that stuff went down, he was on a team. But in that moment, at that time, when those that thing was a huge story, and so. Although at the end we found out that there was some holes in some of the stuff that was being said about him, it ultimately led to the Dodgers being like, it ain't worth it. And then the Dodgers had a second situation on their own. So, I just think teams are at this point still reluctant. Maybe that changes at some point, but at least as of May 14, it hasn't.
Yeah. Urias is like you brought him up, but he's in a similar spot. And
nobody signed him either, Skrabe, just to point that out.
Right.
It's true. That is true.
So, but it is interesting. And just one last thing on the football versus baseball owners. I think the football owners also can try to do this because the fans just can't get themselves to even remotely boycott football.
That's a fact.
But they might be able to remotely boycott a little baseball and
make
the owners in baseball feel the pinch if they sign somebody they didn't want.
The other thing is baseball's every day. And so the media coverage for that, when you have a guy like that, is constant. Whereas football, you get luxury to talk to those guys, like once a week before the actual game. They set up a day where you speak to the quarterback, you speak to certain people. It's a little more controlled environment. If that was every day, maybe Browns don't look at it the same way.
That's a good point.
A lot of good points there.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to think about. All right, we'll check some traffic here. When we come back, we will daily gambit it. Skraby says he has a parlay. It probably includes a way for the Padres to not win tonight. We'll find out when we return to more Gwynn and Chris.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Tough Turtle Turf. Transform your lawn with ToughTurtleTurf.com. Starting off our afternoon drive with a couple of problems along southbound 805. One of them is a collision just past Mesa College. Car hauler and a car involved in this one. It's over to the right shoulder. Further south, just before the 54, a mattress reported from the 2 right lanes, and there's a truck over the right shoulder, possibly trying to retrieve that. So take it extra carefully there, South 805, before the 54. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Tough Turtle Turf is your go-to for all your landscaping needs. Transform your lawn with our lush, low-maintenance proprietary artificial turf. And add style and functionality with our durable pavers and stepping stones. And so much more. Transform your lawn with Tough Turtle Turf at ToughTurtleTurf.com.
Stream Padres baseball for free using the Odyssey app.
Probably the longest home run hit by a Padre this season, and now 3-1 Padres.
Download it today and follow 97.3 The Fan.
I'm Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
1455 Frazee Road, Suite 1050, San Diego, California, 92108. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Another happy Safelite customer.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
There I was, driving down the highway, and a rock flies up and cracks my windshield. Are you kidding me? I asked for recommendations, and everyone sang the same thing. Safelite repair, Safelite replace. I booked an appointment at Safelite.com, and they came to me for free. It was that easy.
Cracked windshield? Go to Safelite.com now to schedule your free mobile service and let Safelite come to you. Conditions may apply.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Looking for a new show to dive into? Well, go to Hulu and see what's new, because Hulu has new stuff all the time, like the full season of FX's epic limited series Shogun, FX's new international spy thriller The Veil, starring Emmy and Golden Globe winner Elizabeth Moss, and don't miss the all-new crime series Under the Bridge, inspired by shocking true events and starring Riley Keough and Lily Gladstone. It's all new, and it's streaming right now on Hulu.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Gwynn and Chris is going to be back in just 2 minutes.
Hey, it's Woodsy. I wanted to let you know the Frozen Ropes Summer Baseball League is now open for registration and signing up players ages 6 through 12. 8 practices and 8 games with professional coaching starts June 3rd. Go to SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com for more information.
The El Diablo Burger is back at Carl's Jr. Crispy bacon, cheese, fiery habanero sauce, and jalapeno poppers. It's our spiciest burger ever, so...
Give in to your devilish desires.
Ignore the devil, everyone.
You know you want that spicy burger.
Please, I'm just saying that.
Get that.
I'm just saying
spicy
that.
burger.
Come on, man. El Diablo is back for all eternity. Only at Carl's Jr.
Big burger! Get burger.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Mostly cloudy tonight with overnight lows near 57.
Weather brought to you by Express Employment Professionals. If you're ready for a new job, let Express Employment Professionals help you. Express is your one connection for summer jobs in a variety of industries. Visit expresspros.com.
All right, 3:21 is the time. Welcome back, Gwynn and Chris. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. Tony will be back with us a little bit later as he gets ready for tonight's broadcast. With Jesse Agler, Padres and Rockies. Ugh. Dastardly Rockies. But seriously, Skraby, 2 most disappointing losses this year, right? Both to the Rockies.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
For different reasons.
For different reasons.
Last night had to be, the second most disappointing loss or, frustrating loss of the year.
At least they weren't leading and they gave up the lead.
I know, but they were handed the game.
They were.
And they, just couldn't grasp it.
That's right.
As it were. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we're going to have a young lady who I believe is one of the best, if not the best, woman athlete in San Diego. That's saying something, but wait till you hear some of her stats and what she's doing. We'll have her on the show shortly. Right now, though, we got winners, losers, and Skraby's parlays.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit's our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly out there. Let's start with that parlay that looked oh so good for a little bit, and then it looked oh so bad once the game was over. All I needed was Xander Bogaerts to hit a home run, which I thought was going to be the tough part of the parlay. So he did that. Padres needed to win also, and they did not do that, so I lose that parlay once again.
Yep, and if you missed it, we opened the show by correctly blaming Skraby for last night's loss.
And you at the same time.
I know, I got some of the blame too.
Celtics were 12.5-point favorites last night, which they should have been. The spread actually went from 8.5 to 12.5 after Donovan Mitchell was ruled out of the game for the Cavs, so we both chose the Celtics. Celtics did win, but they only won by 7.
You know what was interesting was that they didn't even cover the first spread, let alone the altered spread.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop this because I'm looking up at the TV right now. Someone just hit a home run in the White Sox game,
right?
And there was no one in the stands.
Yeah, well, it's
literally
White Sox.
no one in the stands.
It's a doubleheader, and they're having a day-night doubleheader. They obviously did not sell any tickets to the day game.
All right, that's a tough world to be in. Anyway.
Well, the White Sox are not really worth buying a ticket to at the moment.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so we lose that bet.
Okay.
The next one, Dallas were 2-point favorites over the Thunder. We both chose Oklahoma City, and we were both right on this one. They won 100-96. Then we had a who scored more, Jason Tatum or Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic had 18. I chose him. You chose Tatum, who had 33. So you win.
Okay.
I think he had it in the first quarter, basically.
Yeah, Tatum did all of his scoring early. Most of it.
And then the NHL, Hurricanes -1.5 over the Rangers. We chose the Rangers, and the Hurricanes won 4-1.
Canes stormed back 4 goals in the third period to keep their season alive.
That's pretty good.
Looked like the Rangers were going to eliminate them, and then the Rangers lost their grasp on the series.
The Padres total score from last night, over under 8. Padres Rockies total score, over under 8 runs. You went under, I went over, and unfortunately I won with 9, but not the result I wanted.
We needed 11.
I needed 9-3.
We needed 2 more.
Yeah.
For the Padres.
Yes, we needed 2 more.
In the 9th there.
That would have been amazing.
Yes.
Last one is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Let me start that over. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. There we go.
That's it.
5.5 strikeouts, over under against the Giants. We both went over, and we were close, but we still won the bet with 6 strikeouts for Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, Dodgers beat the Giants again last night. I think they're 4-0 against San Francisco. But only 3-5, as you know, against the Padres.
That's true.
All right, so we both went 3-3 last night. Are you tempting fate with another parlay?
Oh, yeah, but I'm going to make it completely so ridiculous that if this one hits, then it's a good night for the Padres.
Gotcha.
So it's plus 3,600, Chris.
Way up there.
Yeah. Padres need to win on the money line, so that's the easy part, I think.
So wait a minute. So if all this other stuff happens, then people are going to blame you for losing?
Yes.
All right.
But there's no way that this stuff can happen and the Padres lose.
Okay.
Over 8.5 Dylan Cease strikeouts.
Okay.
Over 1.5 Luis Arraez hits. He needs 2 hits. And 1 Jake Cronenworth home run. So over 0.5 home runs. If all of that hits, plus 3,600.
And you're thinking if those 3 things hit, they'll win the game. C strikes out 9. Arraez has 2 hits. Jake homers.
I think that's a pretty good lock for winning the game.
I don't know. You have an amazing power to mess things up somehow.
Michelle said tempting fate here.
Yes, you are.
I'm not tempting fate. I have nothing to do with the Padres.
You totally are tempting fate.
But if this hits, they
All
win.
right, good luck to you, Skrabe. Here
Thank
we
you.
go. WNBA opener tonight. The game everybody's watching. Connecticut at home. 6-point favorite over Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. I'll go first.
Okay.
Got to get with the program here. You got to take the Fever +6. They had a really bad team last year, but they didn't have Caitlin Clark.
I was going to say.
They have her now.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Connecticut.
You're going to take Connecticut anyway.
Just because they are that bad. And Caitlin Clark is playing against a bunch of other professional basketball players, and not a bunch of college
Moving up
players.
in class, you say.
Yeah, she's probably going to score 20-something points.
Well, we'll find out because the next bet is Caitlin Clark's over-under, which happens to be 20.5 points.
20.5 points. I'm
going to
say
first game ever.
I'm going to say they're going to feed her, and she goes over.
Over?
Yeah.
I don't even think LeBron James went over in his very first game, so I'll say under. So much pressure, so much spotlight tonight, so much focus on her.
Gonzo says, if I hit that, you win for sure. Thank you, Gonzo.
Well, all right. But if it doesn't happen, there's going to be hell to pay tomorrow. Knicks are 1.5 over Indiana. This is the Indiana NBA team, of course.
Okay, the Pacers.
Yes, Knicks are at home. Game 5. I practically put the Knicks into the NBA Finals last week.
You did.
And now they're making me sweat it out, but I gotta believe they hold serve here in Game 5 and win by more than 1.5. I'll take the Knicks.
Same.
You're going to the Knicks.
Yeah, they're at home.
Denver is back home, now back even with Minnesota. Nuggets are favored by 4 in Game 5 tonight. Skraby, who do you like here?
This is a tough one.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to go with the Nuggets.
You're going with Denver.
Yeah.
You know, it was impossible after watching the first 2 games to believe that Minnesota could lose. And it's impossible to watch the last 2 games and believe that Denver could lose. So I really don't know what to do here. It's a coin flip. But the momentum is on the side of Denver.
All right.
I'll go with them. Who scores more points tonight? Jalen Brunson in his game or the Ant-Man in his? I'm first.
Oh, okay, good.
I really love the Ant-Man. But Brunson at home is a 40-point game. And the Ant-Man just had 40. I'll go Brunson tonight over the Ant-Man.
I'm going to go Ant-Man.
You go Ant-Man?
Yep.
You've become an Ant-Man fan. Everybody's an Ant-Man fan. I don't know anybody doesn't like this guy right now.
His
attitude is fantastic.
Yeah.
He basically, after Game 4, he basically told, he clapped right in the face of Jamal Murray after the game and said, come on, I love this. Keep bringing it.
Yeah.
Like,
I like
what?
that. I like that.
Is this guy crazy?
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I mean, he's basically inviting Jamal Murray to keep playing harder. Like, come on, I love this stuff. That's the Ant-Man.
I do
for
love
you.
that too.
Over-under tonight for the Padres and Rockies is only 7 runs.
Wow.
With Cease on the mound and with Quantrill pitching well. Scrabe, what do you think here?
Offensive Padres explosion.
Really?
Yeah.
Over. Okay, I'm going to go with what should have happened last night. Padres 6, Rockies 0.
Oh, you're going to go under.
Go under.
Okay.
I can't believe the Rockies have been 5 in a row. They've only won 4 games all year on the road. One of them.
Don't give me stats that I don't want to hear.
Sorry, it's annoying. We know.
That is really annoying. We just knew last night coming in that the Rockies were going to do what the Rockies did, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, let's put it this way. The Padres have as many losses this year to the Rockies now as they do the Dodgers. That didn't sound any better, did it?
No, it didn't.
It wasn't a better way to put it?
No, that was not. I feel even worse now.
We'll take a break. Gambit's in the bank. When we come back, going to talk to, and you won't believe this young lady's statistics, and she is powerhousing San Diego State in ways that the Aztec softball team has never been powerhoused before. One of the best female athletes in this city next on Gwynn and Chris.
Coming up on Wednesday, we're either going to agonize or celebrate the Padres Rockies, plus head coach Danny Lee.
Padres baseball. You can listen to every game on the free Odyssey app. Download it today and follow 97.3 The Fan.
All right, one thing we do on this program, we celebrate women in sports, and we're going to continue doing that in this upcoming segment. I want to remind everybody, though, if you love Mediterranean food, Spiro's.
Wow.
Yeah, we really
Chris
like
just had
it.
a moment.
We really like it around here. Try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine, Coronado, La Jolla. Also at the ballpark. That's right. Petco Park now has a Spiro's location down the third base line. Main concourse near the Western Metal Supply Company building. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. Let's check a little traffic before we get to our guest.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the Fish Market, serving the freshest catches from waters near, far, and everywhere in between. A couple of collisions on northbound 15. One is just before the King Freeway, not showing if lanes are blocked, and the Cordell and Cordell traffic cam shows a crash in the North County, North 15 past Felicita. Those cars are over to the right shoulder. Fresh wild Alaskan halibut season is in full swing. Enjoy it perfectly grilled at the Fish Market, and then grab an extra piece to cook yourself from the market on your way out. Fish Market, with locations downtown in Del Mar. The Fish Market, serving and offering only the freshest catches. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It is indeed a big night for women's sports, women in sports. You know, look, Caitlin Clark's making her WNBA debut tonight. We talk a lot of women's sports on this very program because we appreciate what these athletes can do out there. And every now and again, a real special athlete comes around. And we've got one here in San Diego, plays for the San Diego State softball team, which is headed to the NCAA tournament this weekend. Her name is Mac Barbara, and during the course of this interview, we're going to try to give you just some of her statistics this season for the Aztecs as she leads them into the postseason and joins us here on 97.3 The Fan. Mac, thanks so much for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm all right because I'm not in a circle anywhere trying to get you out. That seems like it'd be a very difficult task for most pitchers out there. 3.83 batting average, school record 14 home runs. You know, an OPS which is better than what Shohei Ohtani even has in Major League Baseball. You love to mash softballs, do you not?
No, I definitely do. 100%. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, have you always been a great hitter? Is it something that you've kind of developed over time?
Well, I wouldn't say I am like the best hitter. I mean, I definitely care about like working on my craft and everything, and like that's something I take pride in. I think over time I've just developed, I just have developed like physically, mentally, emotionally when it comes to hitting. But I also learned from my dad, who was a really great hitter back in the day. He was an all-time leader for batting average in 1990 for Long Beach State. And so, yeah, I mean, I grew up around the baseball field, so I also learned from like Evan Longoria, Troy Tulowitzki, and Jeremy Reed, and like all of those big name guys, that got drafted and played in the big leagues. So, I mean, I will say like I had a lot of resources growing up, so I think that kind of gives me an advantage to my play in this day and age.
Pretty good.
Definitely does with people like that on that list.
Yeah, she listened to all those people, but she's better hitters than all of them.
I was looking through some of your stats, and over the last 3 seasons, you basically have an on-base percentage of 50%, which means 1 out of 2 times you get on base. What is your approach when you go to the plate? Is it to get on base any way possible? Or are you looking for something? What's your approach?
Honestly, if they pitch to me, then swing at it. If they don't, then take until I get a strike. But I know a lot of people don't like to pitch to me, so I'll take my walk any day. Better than a strikeout.
That's true. That's true.
I know one of the games over the weekend for the Mountain West Conference Championship, they intentionally walked her, if I'm not mistaken, to lead off an inning, right, Mac? And then the young lady behind you hit a 2-run home run to win the game. So worked
Yeah,
out
exactly.
nicely.
Yeah.
But
I will say, like, it is kind of like I do get frustrated because it's like, come on, like just don't be scared. Just let me hit the ball. Like, guarantee you, like I'm not gonna hit it out. If anything, like even when I was like hitting back like poorly, like, or at least to my standard, I was like hitting poorly, but like people would still not pitch to me, and I'm like, why are you not pitching to me? Like I literally have rolled out to the second baseman twice. Like why are you not pitching to me? Like just give me strikes. And they're like, even if like my coaches have to remind me, like even if you do roll over twice and they pitch you a ball that's down the middle, there's a potential chance that you can still hit the ball out. Like they're trying to keep you in the yard. And I was like, but it's not fair. Like just give me something. Like I get so annoyed.
I love it.
But like I had to learn patience at a very late point in my career. I had to learn it, and it was very difficult because I am not a patient person.
Neither am I.
Yeah, that's great. Mac Barber is our guest. She is the big-time hitter for the San Diego State softball team. She, like I said, she's got an OPS over 1,200, set a school record with 14 home runs this year, slugging percentage over 775. I mean, she's been great, but she's not the only one. Let's be honest. This team has been great the last 2 years, Mac. You guys got over a big hurdle last year by winning your regional and getting to the super regionals. I know you're, so disappointed to come up a game short of the College World Series. Take us through what you've got coming up this weekend in L.A. as you try to begin another run in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think we have a very tough regional. I mean, we have 2 ranked teams, and then, GCU is very scrappy. They're good. And I honestly, in my opinion, I think have a little bit of upset, this weekend. And I honestly think that if we continue to stick to our game plan and continue to do what we need to do, before games and during game and after games, like, I feel like we will have a better chance of making it to super regionals. Because honestly, this team can compete. It really can. We really can, and we're very competitive. And we feed off each other's energy. So like, if somebody's not in a good headspace, we try our best to, pick them up as much as we can to like get them in a good headspace enough for them to, be able to play that day. And now, I'm not saying everybody needs to be perfect and to be, the Energizer Bunny and, like, have all this, like, spark and, like, it's never going to happen, And so, like, with people surrounding you that have energy, it also allows you to have energy as well and at least, like, be there and be present with each other. So I think that's something that we need to have as a team is to be present and be where our feet are and not focus on anything that, is on the outside. And yeah, so I mean, and plus along with being on ESPN and like the cameras, the fans, like a lot of it can be distracting. So if we could just stay locked in, I think we'll do a great job this weekend. Our defense is pretty solid, our hitting's been solid, and our pitching staff has definitely been, dominating in all aspects. So.
Love to hear that. We're talking to Mac Barber here of the San Diego State softball team. And now I'm going to ask a weird question. It could go in a different direction. But do you watch the Padres?
Don't hate me, San Diego native. Well, I don't really know much about the Padres.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. What I'm asking is, what is your philosophy at swinging at the first pitch? If it's good, do you swing or... Because last night there was a situation in the game where the pitcher couldn't throw strikes at all. He just kept walking everyone. Manny went up, hit the first pitch. He grounded into a double play. What is your philosophy on first pitch swinging?
Well, in my opinion, if you notice that a pitcher can't throw strikes and he threw 4 straight balls in a row to the batter before you, my approach would be to take, because even if it is a strike, I would just take it because at the end of the day, it may be your only strike in the at-bat. And I'd rather take it than swing at it and roll over or hit a crappy pop fly or, like, roll out into a double play. So that's just my opinion. But also I feel like these hitters, like, not to, like, talk bad about MLB at all. I think MLB players are phenomenal. Like, they are crazy freak athletes. But I feel like this day and age, there's really no, like, short game, no, like, hitting for average. Like, everyone wants to hit a home run, and it's, like, it's physically not possible to hit a home run every single time. Like, I really wish, like, hitters would just hit the ball. I love hitting doubles in the gap because it's so much better. So I can, I'm not fast at all, but I like to show off my speed and think that I am fast. And I like to try to push the envelope. Like, that's my thing. I honestly, hitting a home run is great. You get to jog around the bases. But in my personal opinion, like, hitting a double is so much better. I love doing the double celebrations. Like, honestly, it just makes the game, like, that's true baseball right there, baseball, softball. Like, I had this joke. Not necessarily a joke, but, like, I was, my dad and I will talk softball, and he was like, oh, how'd you score this run? And I was like, 2 hits, double, and he was like, true softball. And I was like, yep, true softball right there. Like, that's literally what the game is. Like, I don't think people understand, like, softball and baseball, it's not a home run competition. It really is not. And it makes the game a little boring, quite honestly, when it's just home runs after home runs. Like,
Mac,
you get it. You can hit a home run.
What a breath of fresh air you are. Mac Barber is our guest. And she knows a thing or two about hitting because she's been doing it
Chris.
better than anybody for the San Diego State softball team. They do start their regional Friday in L.A. against Virginia Tech. Again, women in sports, Mac, this is a great time to be a female athlete, I think. And, Caitlin Clark's making her debut tonight in the WNBA. Where are you on the, the women, power in sports and how this whole thing is coming along right now? And there's more and more interest than ever in your game and others.
Honestly, I think it's pretty awesome. Don't get me wrong, the College World Series is, like, pretty cool for baseball, but, like, at the end of the day, in my opinion, I've heard so many people say softball is more entertaining than baseball because it's faster, it's quicker, like, there's a lot of things that are going on. And also, too, like, women are also freak athletes, too, but, like, we're so overshadowed by men and, like, what they can do. It's like, yeah, we get it. Like, we get you can do X, Y, and Z, but a woman can also do that, too, and I think it's so cool that, we're getting the exposure finally after so many years. I was honestly happy. I watched the women college, March Madness.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought it was so cool to see a packed stadium arena.
Sure.
It was like, honestly, I was like, I want to be in that environment. Like, I feel like that would be so cool and, like, fuel my fire. Like, honestly, and then hearing, like, the viewership between softball and baseball College World Series, like, that makes me happy because it's like people are interested and willing to watch the game and, like, it's funny because, like, our baseball team, they're like, can you please make it to Sunday? Like, we want to come and watch. And I was like, oh my God. Like, now I'm like, I really want to make it to Sunday.
Yeah.
Well,
real quick, I know Chris was about to wrap it
no,
up.
that's fine.
I'm telling you right now that you're a much better baseball, softball player than I am because you hit 554 as a junior in high school.
Oh, she's unbelievable.
I don't know how many people in the listening audience hit 554 in high school as a junior.
Hit it at any time. And
you could definitely
have continued it at San Diego State. Mac, you are so fun to talk to. You are such a breath of fresh air, and your excitement and enthusiasm is contagious for sure. I hope fans here in San Diego, I know they will tune in, watch you guys play this weekend on ESPN in the regionals, especially parents out there that have young ladies who want to grow up playing softball. Keep a little look at Mac Barbara and the way she mashes. Mac, thanks for spending time with us.
Yeah,
I hope we talk to you again. I hope, when you guys make it to Oklahoma City this year, give us another call back.
Oh, 100% I will.
All right, perfect. We'll save a spot for you. Thanks. All right, very good. There's Mac Barbara. Off she goes. And she was fun. She's fun and opinionated and enthusiastic and excited. And, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
I think we might need to have her on every week.
She's great. 51 hits this year, Skraby, in just 133 at-bats. 383 batting average, 774 slug. All-time record, 14 home runs, 48 RBIs, 103 total bases, 33 walks. Like she said, they pitch around her all the time.
She just wants to hit.
Just please give me one.
Just give me a pitch.
Just give me a pitch. Come on, I want to hit.
Then you need to, I guess, strike out a little bit so they don't think you're so
fun.
good.
It was funny that her coach, Stacy Newman, said, "Look, you." Even if you do roll over, they're still worried you're going to hit the next one over the fence.
That's true.
She only struck out 17 times this year, which is very impressive for a slugger. And she said, you know what, I'm not that fast, but I like to run. She was 3 for 3 stealing bases, too, this year.
That works.
Way to go, Mac.
She also takes the first pitch after 4 straight balls.
I can't believe you're trying to start a
No,
thing
I wasn't
with
trying.
that.
No, she is. I had the opportunity to ask one of the best hitters in the country something about baseball.
You did.
And she delivered.
She's one of the best hitters. I told you she's one of the best women athletes we have in this city. If you weren't aware of her, you are now. Mac Barbara, power hitting first baseman, a junior from Long Beach, California, with the Aztec softball team. That was fun. We definitely got to do that again, Skrabe.
Yeah, that was very unexpectedly awesome.
Yeah.
Not that I expected to be bad, but that was
Well,
awesome.
she also got to, learn from Troy Tulowitzki, Evan Longoria, all those guys at Long Beach State, the dirt bags.
I didn't want to say that on the air because I wasn't sure if they were dirtbags.
You would have been right. You would have been right.
I wasn't willing to take that chance.
Chris vs. the Fans coming up next. Here we go in the 4 o'clock hour. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. That was a really fun interview with Mac Barbara from the San Diego State softball team. If you missed any part of that, especially if you got a daughter who likes to play sports.
Definitely.
Especially softball, but any sport.
Yeah.
If you got a daughter out there that plays sports, wants to continue playing sports, have her listen to that interview with Mac Barbara. Have her listen to it maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
Just to understand, does she sound like she's having fun or what?
She does.
Right? I mean, it wasn't about, her. Sure, she's very successful. Her hitting, her statistics are ridiculous. Her team's been great. But she's just having so much fun in life. And it comes right through the interview.
Oh, it totally does.
So, everybody should be enjoying themselves as much as Mac Barbara is. And your daughter out there, or even your son for that matter, take a page from that. If you're going to go out and play, have fun, do well, have your goals in mind, but don't forget, above everything else, it's just a game, and you should enjoy it.
My friend texted me during that, and I saw it after the fact, but they said, I'm ready to go play some softball for my co-ed team tonight.
She does mash. I've seen her hit before, Skraby. When she gets a hold of one, long gone, baby. Way out of there. She can hit some towering drives. So that was great having her on. I hope that they make another run. They got within 1 game of the College World Series last year. All the attention on Brian Dutcher's team, etc. The Aztec softball team was that close to the College World Series themselves last year, and they'll have another chance at it this year. All right, we got Chris vs. the Fans coming up. Chance to qualify for the big prize. 2-night stay at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. 2 tickets to see Warrant, Lita Ford, and Paralandra on June the 22nd. You can celebrate my birthday and get ready for an unforgettable night of pure rock. Well, it is my birthday.
I know.
What am I gonna say? An unforgettable night of pure rock bliss. Warrant, Lita Ford, Paralandra. They crank it out. They're going to blow the roof off of the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. I don't think they're literally saying they're going to blow the roof off. That would be pretty impressive.
Well, yes. I'm surprised that they're using that expression in this day and
The
age.
Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino features newly designed premier rooms, part of their $70 million room renovations, home of legendary Vegas fun. It is time for Chris vs. the Fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win if you're a first-time player. That was interesting.
Well, we're all fired up after
we are
Mac
fired
Barbara.
up. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it because you get that first question for free.
Somebody,
today.
do me a favor, Skraby. Before Friday, put a phone call into the Virginia Tech softball team. See if you can get their coach on the.
Oh yeah.
See if you can get their coach on the show. I just want to tell them one thing.
What?
Please throw a strike to Mac Barbara. She really wants to hit.
They're gonna be like, you called me on to say that.
She was so funny. She's like, I hate when they walk me. Come on, I just want one pitch. So she can smash it.
I'll get right on that for you, Chris.
I know. We're not going to do that, but I'm trying to help my newfound friend Mac out.
All right. Let's start with Carlos. Let's go, Carlos.
Hi, Carlos.
Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Not a first-time player.
Okay.
All
Still
right.
fun to say, though.
We start with question number 1, Carlos. What is the ESPN gambling app called?
Is it DraftKings?
No, unfortunately not. I don't know that Chris actually knows this, though.
Unfortunately, I do.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to admit it, but I've seen it on the website. They've been promoting it, like crazy. ESPN Bet is their
Sorry, Carlos.
betting.
Thank you for playing.
thing.
Play again.
Thanks, Carlos. Give it another shot.
Yes, it is ESPN Bet. You can't go anywhere without seeing it.
Pretty much. I'm surprised Carlos hadn't.
Well, I guess they don't go to sports
sites.
sites. Maybe they don't go to sports sites like we do every single day, and you're just hit in the face with
spent
ESPN
half my
Bet.
life on ESPN.com, so that's fair.
You should probably go to a different website. Like,
Why? Do I not get all the information I need?
Trying to get some. I'm trying to say. Never mind. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's go to Jason in San Diego. Jason, are you there?
Hi, Jason.
How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Good.
Very good.
Are you ready to play?
I think so.
Sir.
Yep, he's ready. Okay.
Here we go. What do we call the runner that is placed on second in extra innings?
We call that runner the ghost runner.
The ghost runner is correct. I love the ghost runner, even though it makes no sense.
As Mark Grant says, why do we call him the ghost runner? We can see him right there.
Yes. That's what I meant by the ghost runner. I
I
love
know.
the name, but it makes no sense.
Mark Grant says the same thing.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. What father-son tandem have both appeared on the cover of MLB The Show?
That would be Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Wow, that was pretty good.
I would not have gotten that. I was thinking there's no way Bobby Bonds was on there.
Or Fernando's
or
dad.
Ken Griffey Sr. or
No, they weren't good enough.
Fernando Sr. I was like, who would this? Cecil Fielder? No.
Cecil Fielder.
Very good.
That is good.
Good
All
get,
right.
Jason. I would not have got that.
Here we
Well
go,
done.
Jason. Question.
Although,
number 3.
I will say this, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., from what I've heard, has been slumping badly.
He has.
He's somehow lost the touch.
He has.
So has Bo Bichette, by the way. Both of them have had terrible seasons so far.
Well, it's the MLB The Show cover curse.
Oh, could
for
be.
Vladdy Jr.
Okay.
All right, here we go, Jason. Question number 3. What 3 Padres were on base for Manny last night in the 9th inning with 2 outs?
Manny.
Let's see. We had Tatis,
Okay.
Sano, and Kim.
Who was the second one? You said Tatis, Kim? Campusano. Okay. Stay there.
All right, Manny batted 4th. So the 2 guys right before him walked. Third, Jake. Tatis. Arise got out on the great catch. We forgot about that catch that guy made in the 9th inning for Colorado.
Oh, yes, that was a great catch.
That was a hell of a catch.
It was like, I literally said, of course.
Oh, he had no chance of catching that, and he made the play.
Of course.
And then before Arise, the guy walked was Kim. So I got to go with Kim, Tatis, and Cronenworth.
Wow. I'm
sorry,
sorry, Jason. You
Good
played
playing,
a great
though.
game.
Good playing.
That
He
was a
on it.
great game.
Yeah, he was on it.
All right. Let's go to our next contestant. You know what? We haven't got a call from our guy Brandon in a while.
Well, let's check in.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hello, Brandon.
Guys, how we doing? I'm about to head down to the game.
Good.
All right.
Good.
All right. Nice job.
Enjoy tonight.
Are you going to go see Sammy Lev?
Yeah, I did last night. I think I will tonight.
Of course.
Okay. Tell him that Chris has needs to speak with him, and just tell him that, and that's it.
What do I need to speak to him about?
Nothing. It just would be fun.
Oh, you're just throwing him off?
Yes, I'm just throwing him off the set. Don't actually do
Chris
that.
has something crucial to tell you tonight.
Don't actually do that because he has a lot of stuff going on at that time.
Freak out.
All right, Brandon, here we go. Question number 1. What is the name of the giant circular video display in Las Vegas?
The Sphere.
The Sphere is correct. All right. Let's
Where
go.
I went and saw a show at the
You did.
Sphere.
You did. You
I've
said
been
it
to
was
the Sphere.
amazing.
It's okay. The outside's better than the inside.
All right. Here we go.
So Don't feel like you have to pay thousands of dollars to go inside and see a show.
I won't.
It's just cool to look at from the outside.
I won't. All right.
And that's free.
That is free.
Yeah.
Okay, except for when we go and it's broken. Shohei Ohtani was AL Rookie of the Year in 2018. Which National League East player won the National League Rookie of the Year that year?
I think it was Acuna.
Acuna. I knew Brandon was going to know this.
He
That is
got
correct.
it.
Brandon knows his baseball.
Brandon's on it.
All right, final question. You get this.
What
you
was
are
that
all
year?
qualified.
2018?
Yes.
See, I didn't think Acuna had been. I wouldn't have got that either.
I thought.
Because that means he's been in the league, what, 6 years?
I guess so.
Wow.
Lost what, like an entire season or half a
Well,
season to
yeah.
an ACL?
Well, that's true.
Anyway, here we
Okay.
go, Brandon. Question number 3.
For the win.
All right, I'm going to give you 4 players' names, and you're going to have to name this baseball team they played for in the 90s. Roger
That's
Clemens.
an interesting way to ask a question.
Okay. You approve.
Oh, yeah, so
All right.
far.
Roger Clemens, Jose Canseco, Kevin Mitchell, and Mo Vaughn. What team did they play for?
The Red Sox.
Wow! That is impressive.
Kevin Mitchell played for the Red Sox? I did not know.
Wow, Brandon. That was impressive. You hang right on because...
Roger Clemens only played for, 3 teams? Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Yankees.
Well, let me go make sure.
So you
that
could
Kevin
eliminate
Mitchell-
the other ones.
Let me go.
That's the only. I mean, I'm giving Brandon all the.
No, I know, but would you
giving
have
him all the
gotten that?
credit in the world. I guess I would have. I really didn't know Kevin Mitchell played for the Red Sox.
He played
but-
for 1 season.
Okay, yeah, Mo Vaughn and Canseco definitely played for the
And
Red
I actually
Sox.
believe he even got traded in that season from the Red Sox to
that
the.
was pretty good though. I
That
kind of
was
like
good.
that idea of a question. It's not bad.
All
That's the
right.
first time you've asked one like that. Brandon cashes in.
That was a very random Kevin Mitchell reference because I'm looking now. He had like 30 games with the team before he
Yeah,
was
and that's
traded.
what I said. I didn't recall him playing for them. But that's good for Brandon. He's on his way to, hopefully he'll be on his way to Las Vegas when it's all said and done. He's certainly in the drawing for the grand prize. We have to step aside here shortly. Padres lineup, if you're wondering, for tonight's game against former Padre Cal Quantrill. And we mentioned this earlier, but Cal Quantrill has pitched quite well of late. And I'm, not going to even remotely suggest that this is a gimme again against these guys because
no, please don't.
I think we've had to learn our lesson by now. Same Padre lineup tonight as it was last night, and interestingly, exactly same Rocky lineup tonight as it was last night. So neither manager making a change.
Did Clemens play for the Astros too?
Oh yes, Astros.
Okay,
thank you.
Just making sure.
4 teams.
No problem.
The Rocket.
He was a very nice guy, was he? From what
Didn't
I
seem
hear.
like he was.
From what I hear.
I don't know. I think he was juiced up on a lot, and I think that affected his attitude. Like the
Probably.
time he grabbed Mike Piazza's broken bat and threw it at him.
Yep.
Mike Piazza's
Yep.
still looking at him to this day like, what are you doing? Nobody understood that one.
I do remember
That was weird.
All right.
I'm more Gwynn and Chris after traffic.
From the 90
Water, SoCal pregame show. Sam Levitt a bit later on. Then, of course, a little after 6:30 tonight, the Padres will try to settle their score with the Rockies, game 2 of a 3-game series. But also tonight, you have some pretty good hoops. The NBA playoffs continue tonight. The question I have for you, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yes, sir.
Will the NBA playoffs be more watched and or talked about tonight than the WNBA season opening debut of Caitlin Clark for the Indiana Fever against the Connecticut Sun?
That, my friend, is an actually fair question.
I know.
But I do think it'll be the playoffs.
It'll still be the playoffs, huh?
It'll be the playoffs. I think at first it's going to be easier to find it. You know, I'm not quite sure where the WNBA
No, the
is.
WNBA opener's on ESPN2 tonight,
Okay.
the Fever Sun game.
I thought he was going to say Ocho for a second.
No, not the
easy to find.
Ocho. It's on the Deuce, baby.
It's on the Deuce.
It's on the
I
Deuce.
still think it'll be the playoffs considering who's playing tonight.
Yeah.
And I believe we got Denver, Minnesota.
Denver, Minnesota, after the Knicks play Indiana.
Yeah, these are the two marquee series, in my opinion, right here.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I think Dallas and who are they playing?
OKC. Yeah.
are a close second. But I think it's this Knicks series and it's this Denver-Minnesota series that have been the two best series so far. So for that reason, I think it'll outdo Caitlin Clark's debut today. But, I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation just kind of, again, highlights how far and how well things have gone for really women's sports in general, but specifically the women's basketball.
Yeah, this is the most anticipated WNBA season opening night in history by a wide margin.
It's not close.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Caitlin Clark, but I think you're right. We're deep enough into the playoffs now. We're deep enough into these two series, and the only thing I can say about both series, the Knicks and Pacers and the T-Wolves Nuggets, is that I thought I had them both figured out, Tony, and it turns out I don't have either of them figured out. Because I thought the Knicks were looking great, and they were looking great after 2 games. They go to Indiana, lose a close game, and then they just get destroyed in Game 4.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
They don't show up. And then, the same goes for the T-Wolves, who won the first 2 games in Denver, looked to be in complete command, only to see the champs come back on the road and look like the champs. So it's the old pivotal Game 5s tonight, and I honestly am not quite sure which way they'll go. Let's start with the Knicks and Pacers. What do you think is going to happen?
What's the format? Is it 2-3-2 or is it 2-3-1-1-1?
No, it's 2-2-1-1. They're back in New York tonight. So
okay, so I like the Knicks at home. I
Yeah.
do. I can't imagine them playing a third bad game. I like them. They're at home. They've played well at home. I like them at home. More importantly, I don't see Brunson having as bad of a game as he had this last one. That trio of DiVincenzo, Brunson,
Josh Hart. Yeah, the Villanova gang.
The Villanova gang has been vital in their wins, and they've kind of shrunk in their losses. So
right.
They're going back home. I think they'll be able to kind of get it going again, and I expect them to take a 3-2 lead. Now, on the flip,
if they lose this game tonight, expect Reggie Miller to somehow show up in Madison Square Garden giving the choke sign. I'll say that.
It wouldn't be right if he didn't show up
That's
without
right.
a choke sign in New York.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, in terms of the other game,
yeah,
I think this is a much more difficult task. I think, as you said, Minnesota was in control. I mean, they could have even lost one game at home as long as they get the second or the first and lose the second. They get neither, and now you got to go back and do something that really hadn't been done until they did it. So you're going to get a third win on the road in Denver. I think that's going to be a tough task. I won't be surprised, although I want to see Minnesota do it, and I know they got the wild card and Anthony Edwards. This is still the defending champs. I mean, I just think it was such a blown opportunity for the T-Wolves not to get one at home.
Yeah.
Because now, you're going to have to pull off something, as I said, that's not easy to do. beat them in their building 3 straight times.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that happening. But, Minnesota seems like I think they have the personnel to do it.
I agree.
But Rudy Gobert, and we touched on this yesterday, he's not just the one-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA, which he won again this year. He is a 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. And I watched the entire game 4 in Minnesota, as you said, Tony. Key game, everything on the line, chance to really stick it to the Nuggets. And Rudy Gobert had 0 impact in that game. And I mean almost less than 0. Nikola Jokic was doing whatever he damn well pleased in that game, and Gobert was helpless to stop it. Now, after the game, Gobert blamed the loss on the fact that Aaron Gordon was just so hot, and made 11 out of 12 shots. But I blame the game on Gobert for not having any impact at all on Jokic. In the first half, when Denver was building their lead, I mean, you got to see something if you're a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, listen, Chris, nobody's saying, hey, you got to go out and hold Joker to 0 points. It's not what they're asking.
No.
But make it difficult on him at least, right?
Yeah.
Like, force him to shoot a high volume in order to get the amount of points that he has. Don't give him free reign in the key to do. Here's the thing. For however many, if we said 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And there has been so many people complaining about him. I mean, Shaq's been one of them, Draymond. This is why they complain, right? Because you're getting the Defensive Player of the Year. And I don't know about you, Chris, but if you're the Defensive Player of the Year, I don't care who's on the other side. You should be making it hard for them.
I couldn't agree more, Tony.
And
I
it
was
just seems
flabbergasted
like Joker
the other
in
night.
the last 2 games, last 2 games. I would even say 3 games because he had a good one in one of those games that they lost at home.
He had a good game in Game 1 against Gobert, and then in Game 2 he had a terrible game when Gobert didn't play.
That's exactly
What does that
right.
tell you about Gobert?
This is why guys like Shaq say what they say.
They should keep saying it.
Because, the fact that you're the Defensive Player of the Year and you're just allowing Joker to have, his way, basically, other than the game that you didn't play in.
Yeah.
And that might have been because Joker was like, okay, he's not here. I'm not going to just have free will.
Yeah.
My point is, he needs to show up probably more than anybody else on that roster tonight.
Couldn't agree more. You know you're going to get Anthony Edwards going to get 30 or 40 points tonight. And I know that they're comparing Anthony Edwards to Jordan, and even Anthony Edwards has said, please, let's stop with all of that.
Right.
However, the one comparison that I'm seeing to Jordan is I had a flashback to the late 80s days of Jordan when he used to score 30 or 40 every playoff game and looked around and he was losing the game because no one else was doing anything to help him.
Right.
That's what I saw in Game 4 and in Game 3. Minnesota's supporting cast was nil. So that's why I'm really excited to just see how it's going to go tonight.
Yeah.
But you got to give Denver a lot of credit. I thought they were toast after the first 2 games, and they've showed back up, like a champ. And that's
what champs do.
That's what they're supposed to do. So it'll be a fun evening of NBA hoops. A couple of pivotal Game 5s there. We'll keep our eye on those. But for now, we'll take a quick break. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Lots to do. Heading towards the 5:30 Sam Levitt Padre pregame show on 97.3 The Fan.
Ben and Woods on The Fan.
Ben has just walked in. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning, Woods.
How are you?
I am okay.
Okay.
Already had the old lid wasn't all the way on the coffee incident this morning, so got a big, giant coffee splotch on my shirt. It's a great way to start the day. No joy in my life. I think everyone can relate to that one for sure.
God dang. Just one of those weeks.
Listen to Ben and Woods weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Skraby for SD Fat Loss, and I'm going to start this one out like this. If you call and you start their program and you mention Skraby from 97.3 The Fan sent you, you will get $200 off. So keep that in mind as I tell you about my 40-pound weight loss journey. I was definitely skeptical of the program when I first started it because all the other diets I had tried did not work, and I was really tired of dieting and not seeing any results. But I started seeing results in the first couple days, and that motivated me to keep getting on the scale and keep seeing that weight drop. In the beginning, it was hard to know what to eat and all that, but the guide that they give you tells you everything you need to know about your diet. And so finally I got into a groove, and I started consistently seeing the weight loss every single time I stepped on the scale. No prepackaged foods, no injections, not even any exercise required. You just need to follow the plan. So give them a call right now and schedule your free consultation. 858-665-3211 or go to sdfatloss.com.
All right, welcome back. 4:35. That's the time. Crisello, Matt Skraby, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. Heading down to Petco Park myself tonight, Skraby. I heard you might be taking in the ball game as well this evening.
Yes, I may end up showing up late.
So
I got
all
a
three of
couple
us
things.
could be on the grounds tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, hard for the Padres to lose under those circumstances.
I don't know.
Sammy
I
Levitt
don't
will.
know.
I know. The Rockies now. I think I'm honestly starting to think anything's kind of possible now with the Rockies. I've tried to give up complete hope that. I mean, not complete hope, but just dismiss. No, just try to dismiss the fact that the Rockies should ever be able to beat the Padres, but. It's been happening for so long now, and so annoyingly so.
That's the thing. It's like every team has that one team.
Yeah.
And
And everybody
it's the
tells me,
Rockies.
too, Chris, stop it. We always lose to the Rockies. I'm like, not this year.
Stop it, Chris.
But that's what's happening so far.
Stop it.
All right, we got to get to traffic, and then Tony is ready to go for today's Big Five.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Problems along the 15 heading southbound just before the 52 collision involving a couple vehicles. They're over to the right shoulder. Now getting reports of a collision south 15 right before Ocean View. That's partially in the slow lane. And going to find a stalled vehicle on the University Avenue on-ramp to northbound 805. It's over to the right shoulder. Stop by any of the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car, and it usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
So I have to tell a quick story before we get into this, and it has to do with Chris and I. And so Chris was behind me at a light today, and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick my finger out the window and give him the bird. And because he was right behind me.
Because you're a Padre fan and you think I'm a Dodger fan?
No, just because I wanted to.
Oh, just for the okay.
The S's and G's, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Well, I looked back as soon as I did this, and Chris was not looking, and the person that was near him was looking around like, is this guy giving me the bird? So I just ended up giving it to the intersection, and
You
Chris
got what you
didn't even
deserved.
see it.
You got what you deserve for doing something rude.
He didn't even see
and
it.
obnoxious. I didn't see it at
Rude,
all.
thank
It's hard to flip somebody the bird and it land good if they didn't do something that would have their attention on you.
I just figured Chris would know. Just know.
I didn't
That
even
you were going to flip him the bird
I didn't even
randomly?
see you there.
Oh, I know. He was looking down. We were at a stoplight. I should have done better. I should have
Yeah, you
looked
should
and
have.
made sure that he was looking. So I just ended up giving the bird to the entire intersection. But that's just
So if
how
you were
my
at
life
that,
works.
so if you happen to be at that intersection a couple of hours ago today, yes, that was Skraby giving all of you the bird.
Yes, that was just another day in Matt Skraby's life.
Number 5.
Now, I was saying that to start us off with something fun.
Some
because
levity.
We do have a very serious topic in the Big Five, and we also have this topic right now, and that would be Manny Machado. Now, we know last night Manny grounded into a double play to end the game, and we know it was first pitch, and we know they did not win the game last night.
Okay.
Now, the word around the street right now is that Manny's not clutch anymore. I looked at some numbers, and the numbers don't look good so far. But
So far in what?
like late this year, like late and close and things like that. And it's too early to tell all of that stuff. 2 weeks ago, Manny was the hero of the game against the Reds. Tony, I hate to even ask it, is Manny
Don't know.
Machado still clutch?
Yes, he's still clutch. He just hasn't been clutch in the 4 or 5 instances this season. How many at bats did you pull up?
Let me go grab everything.
I believe he had him at 1 for 5 or something.
Okay, no, see, again, this is not me.
He won the Reds game just 2 weeks ago with
This is not me.
probably the most clutch hit of the season. I mean,
agree.
Mike Schilt took a run off the board.
He did.
and showed his faith in Manny Machado, who then promptly came through.
He did.
What I want to know while you're looking this up is why is it only Manny Machado that isn't clutch?
Right.
Luis Campusano flied out with the bases loaded.
But he had a home run on Friday against Tyler Glasnow.
So what? I mean, obviously
Manny
people
Machado
are referring,
emptied the bases last
right. I
homestand.
mean, people are obviously referring to last night's game and they're being upset. I mean, the team went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Yes.
That was not all Manny Machado. Practically everybody in the lineup had at least one shot to drive in a run last night.
Here are his clutch stats, and again, I'm just the messenger.
Go ahead.
2 outs with runners in scoring position. He's hitting 188 right now.
What's the
over how
at-bats
many
is it?
at-bats?
Please.
Not many. 16.
Yeah, it's 3 for 16.
Late and close, same. 16 at-bats, hitting 125.
And if he gets 2 hits the next 2 times he's in that situation, he'll be over 300. Hitting late and close.
Is that how math works?
Pretty much, yes. When you have that few of a number of at-bats. Sorry, I'm stepping on Tony's answer. I want to let
No,
him.
you're not stepping on it. This is the same answer you're going to have. So this.
So is Manny Machado still clutch, Chris?
It's a little early to give up on the guy. Yes, he's still clutch.
All right.
Honestly, 3 for 16. If you go 3 for your next 4 in that same situation, which is highly probable or possible, you would then be at an even 6 for 20, which is 300. So it can change like that.
Even if he goes 2 for his next 4.
Yes, he
He
would.
won't be at 300, but he'll be certainly efficient enough to be in that spot.
Yeah, this is a little weird. I mean, I know everybody's upset last night. We're all upset, but
I tweeted out last night, first pitch swinging, not my favorite, but it's not Manny. It's not Manny's fault.
First pitch. What is your favorite, Skraby?
how about when he first
would you
pitch
like him
swings
to
and
swing?
drives in 3?
that's
Is that?
fine.
Do you
No.
like that a little better?
Yes, it's not so much the fact that Manny swung on the first pitch himself because he saw a ball that he liked. It was a fastball in the zone. Why is he not going
just
to try to
rolled
hit
it over. That's it.
He did, but we won't go down this road. I've already asked the question. We've already talked about this, so we're not going to go back down
get yourself out of this conundrum.
I'm just the messenger.
Yeah, but you're enjoying too much
No,
being
I'm
the
not.
messenger.
You have a good face for the messenger, though, so it's like you can definitely feel like it's coming from you.
Oh, man. This team can't win. I can just tell you that.
Number 4.
This is an extremely serious topic, so I wanted to say that first. But for the first time since December 22nd, former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon Jr. spoke to reporters during media availability at the NBA Draft Combine in Chicago today. That broke a near 6-month media silence for the Illinois basketball star since he was arrested on a charge of rape in Kansas in late December. He won a federal case to have his team suspension overturned and led Illinois to a Big Ten tournament title, an Elite Eight appearance with one of the best seasons in Illini basketball history. But after a preliminary hearing last week, Shannon was ordered to stand trial on June 10th for first-degree felony rape and felony sexual aggravated battery charges stemming from an alleged incident that happened on September 9, 2023 at Jayhawk Cafe while Shannon was attending the Illinois at Kansas football game. So, Chris, you're up first on this one. Sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. The NBA draft is going to be just 17 days after this trial starts, but do you think that he will be drafted by an NBA team?
Oh, boy, I don't know. You're putting it, it's all in a difficult spot. I don't like when people that get caught up in this kind of stuff are then, for lack of a better term, somehow rewarded along the way. I mean, in a perfect world, I don't even know that, Illinois should have let him play basketball this year. But I'm sure they fell back on we're going to wait for the court process to work itself out. And until then, he's innocent until proven guilty. So innocent until proven guilty is going to probably allow him to be in a situation where he'll get drafted. I personally, I'm old school and a little tired of all these things. I feel like there's probably another basketball player that's every bit as good as Terrence Shannon that isn't going to bring this baggage along with him. And if this is totally a fugazi and he's completely, totally innocent, I feel really, really bad for him for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I personally kind of getting tired of a lot of this stuff.
All right, that's fair. Tony, do you think he'll be drafted by an NBA team?
That's your question. No, I don't think he will.
Okay.
And it's not fair, actually, if that's how we're going to look at it. Now, I don't think he's going to get drafted because of the baggage that it is, but we've all grown up in a society in which you're innocent until proven guilty. And so, I mean, everything Chris just said goes against everything that we've all grew up in and have lived under. So, by that standard, no, I think I mean, at first, by the way, the school didn't allow him to play.
Yeah,
He took him to court.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then that allowed him to
Yeah.
play because the
Okay.
court system said you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I don't know if he'll get drafted or not, but I know his stock. This dude, I think, was going to be like a top 15 pick somewhere around there, right?
Yep.
And so I highly doubt that anybody's going to draft him that high.
Yeah.
The NBA seems like of all of the major sports, when somebody has like this kind of baggage, like they try to stay away from it. I feel like.
It's unfortunate in this day and age that even when you're accused
But if what
of
he
something,
did,
yes,
if what is
yes.
reported, he actually did, he should go to jail for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it just, without knowing if he's guilty or innocent, I just have to say it just being accused sometimes is enough to ruin someone's dreams, which is...
We see that often.
Yeah, and that's terrible. There was a football player who recently was cleared of any wrongdoing.
Well, he was a punter at San Diego State at one time.
That's not who I was talking
That's
about.
not who
Yes.
you're talking about?
That's a great example.
But that's an example of it right there.
Yes, that is.
So-
He hasn't even he just recently signed.
He
somewhere,
finally
didn't
got
he?
signed again, yeah. But
where'd he go?
I forgot.
Oh.
But honestly, no. Ariza?
Yeah,
he was
Arise.
signed. He was signed. He was definitely signed.
we have too many
now
arises
I'm
going
confusing
on.
Arise and what was my
Matt
man's name
Ariza,
again?
I believe.
Matt Ariza, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that is a great example of what we're talking about here
Yes.
because he was cleared of wrongdoing, but it cost him his job.
It did for 2 years.
It did.
In his case, right, he wasn't even there, right? Is that what we ended up finding out?
I believe that's correct. I believe that the police found out he wasn't even there. He was at the party at some point, but he wasn't there when the alleged stuff happened.
Right.
But, yeah, anyway.
Number 3.
All right, back to fun sports topics. Jared Goff, or Jeff Goff, whichever you're choosing today, has proven to the Lions he is a big part of their future. And with that,
jerk,
the Lions have rewarded him a contract extension worth $212 million over 4 years. That includes $170 million guaranteed. It makes Goff, who will be 34 when the deal is done, the highest paid player in franchise history. Now, his $53 million average annual salary makes him the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, behind only Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow at $55 million. Tony, was this the right move for the Lions?
Yes. I think, you got me all messed up now. Jared Goff. I think he is having just a blast right now. After the Rams gave up on him, shipped him off to Detroit. At the time, it felt like he was sending him to Siberia, basically. And, this dude is freaking balling now. Got his team to, an NFC championship game, right?
Yep.
On the cusp of winning it.
Yep.
Before they gave it up to the Niners.
It wasn't his fault that
unfortunately.
the Lions lost. Seriously, it wasn't Jared Goff's fault that the Lions lost. It was Brock Purdy's greatness.
Yes, it was the greatness of the 49ers. I knew that was coming.
He couldn't wait to get
No,
that
you're
one in.
so
You
so.
know when I wrote this question this morning? I've been waiting,
We could see that coming from 18 miles away.
and it felt just as good
Yeah.
to get it out of
And
my
it felt
head.
great to have you yell it in my ear as well.
I think he should be. I think he should. The Detroit Lions did the right thing. The kneecap cannibal, Dan Campbell.
Yep.
I think he's poured a bunch of pot. I think he's poured into Jared Goff that he believes in him, and I think it seemed like Jared was searching for some of that for a while, and so now to have a head coach that is it believes in you, I think that means a lot. So yeah, I think Detroit did the right thing.
Chris?
You said they made him the highest paid Lion in history, right?
Yep.
He's already accomplished something that Barry Sanders never accomplished.
Yep.
And something that Megatron never accomplished.
What's that?
And something that any other player wearing a Lions uniform that I can think of ever accomplished. got to the NFC Championship game and
Barry
got within
Sanders
one
never got
game.
to the NFC Championship?
Barry Sanders won one playoff game in his entire career.
I thought maybe he got to the NFC Championship.
That's why everybody
once.
is so mad at Detroit.
I mean, Detroit's been the worst franchise in the NFL for 40 years. I mean, with Jared Goff has got them thinking that they could even get to a Super Bowl. That in and itself makes him worth every penny they're paying. So good for him and good for the Lions.
Yeah, he seems like he found a good home in Detroit.
It's working out beautifully.
The Cali boy in Detroit doing it.
He is. Sean McVay's no longer throwing him under the bus, so he feels better about himself.
Number 2.
And he beat the Rams in the playoff, which
yes, he
even
did.
made it better
That is
for
even
him.
better. Yes, you're right. All right, this one, we're going to go football the rest of the way, but everyone, was shocked by the Falcons drafting Michael Penix Jr. in the first round of the NFL draft. Even their current quarterback, Kirk Cousins, was shocked, but Cousins is ready to move on. He spoke for the first time about the situation in an interview with Bussin' with the Boys podcast released today. When asked whether there was any beef with the Falcons over drafting Penix, Cousins said, quote, "I don't think there can be. I don't think it's helpful. We're trying to win a Super Bowl, and it's hard enough. Let's all be on the same page and try and go win a Super Bowl," end quote. Now, Chris is up first here. Do you think he is really ready to move on?
Kirk Cousins is the world's second nicest guy.
He really is.
And I'm not really sure who's ahead of him, to be honest with you. This is really a nice thing to say. And, it's probably the only thing he can say under the circumstances. But I don't 100% believe him. I think that, he's got to feel some type of way about the Falcons already drafting his replacement before he's even taken a single snap for the franchise. And he has 4 years on his contract. So that would have to bother you. And unless you're just, you got ice water in your vein. I mean, if he's a human being, last I checked.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins. So
he might be a robot.
This has got to bother him. It has to bother him, but he said the only thing he can say. And I want to add one more thing. Who are the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and how do they get a guy like Kirk Cousins on the show?
Because Taylor Lewan played in the NFL for a long
Okay.
time.
Oh, it's Taylor. That's the lineman, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Let me just.
He
confirm.
was with the Titans.
Yes, he was. He was with the Titans, and I'm just going to Bussin' with the Boys on Google right now.
Because if you remember, I think he got into it with the one cornerback.
Yeah,
yes.
It's Will Compton and Taylor Lewan is the
Two
Bussin' with the
really,
Boys.
really big names in the history of the game of football, I might add. Aren't they?
Taylor Lewan is.
You know who these guys are?
I do know who he is.
I
Tony
mean-
knew he was a Titan offensive lineman just
I
by
don't know.
knowing his name.
All right.
I think we knew about him because he was kind of crying
Outspoken?
sour grapes and outspoken as well.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Is
think
crying sour grapes a term?
Nope, never heard of crying sour
Okay, well
grapes.
then now it is. It's when someone is
Double
crying about
frustrated.
something stupid, crying over sour
Crying-
grapes.
Crying sour grapes.
Yes. Tony, do you think
Jeez.
Kirk Cousins is really ready to move on?
Yeah, I do. I think. In that same interview, he said that they did give him a heads up that they might take a quarterback if there was one available.
He didn't
Now,
believe
maybe
him.
he didn't expect it to be in the first round, but he according to him, he indicated that he knew he wasn't like completely taken by surprise. That being said, I think he's right. Like, if he's sitting here worrying about who's behind him, and he's got another 4 years on this deal. Just seems like that's kind of counterproductive, not for him, like not worrying about the job at hand and worrying about was it Michael Penix?
Yes.
Junior. I don't think that does him any good. So it makes sense to me that he's ready to move on and focus on football.
I think
sorry.
he's definitely doing and saying the right thing, Tony. But I got to believe that there's part of Kirk Cousins that says, I can't say I'm disappointed with their move because then I'm admitting that I was stupid enough to sign with a stupid franchise, which is exactly what I think he's realized and just trying to.
You get all that, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, I really made him. I can't believe I signed with these yo-yos. Look what they just did.
They gave him a lot of money. That's what they did.
I was about to say that's why he signed, because they gave him a boatload of cash.
Yeah, well, somebody else smarter would have given him maybe a little less.
You know, the GM
He probably didn't. You know what? He himself took advantage of how dumb they are by getting so much money.
I was just getting ready to say that.
And again, it's not Michael Penix's fault that he was drafted by the Falcons. It was actually maybe one of the most exciting things of his life, and
Right, because he was supposed to go like second round, wasn't he?
Yeah, second round, third round. People were crushing him for being taken. It's like, yes, he decided to be taken so early.
in one swoop, right? Cousins is able to take advantage of the stupidity, and in the other swipe, he gets hit by the stupidity.
Yes, he's a victim of the stupidity.
Do you hear this, Adam Klug? Your franchise is kind of a mess sometimes.
Well, he agrees with that. I mean, Adam Klug.
He would be running in here right now telling us he agreed with it.
Sure.
Number 1.
All right, so here's our favorite. An anonymous source told a writer for a publication called Go Long, which I have never heard of, Justin Fields did not get along with 2 veteran quarterbacks brought into Chicago to help him. Those quarterbacks were Nick Foles and Andy Dalton. According to this anonymous source, Fields and Foles did not like each other in the slightest, even citing a time when Foles was trying to teach Fields something, and Fields wasn't even paying attention, which angered Foles. Again, these are anonymous rumors, but we have been talking a lot about the anti-Justin Fields reports out there. Chris, I'm going to ask this now. When there's smoke, is there fire?
I'm not going to comment on stuff from unnamed, anonymous sources.
Okay, good.
I'm above that. I really feel like I'm above that in this day and age.
You are?
Not normally. But, I mean, how can I comment on... look, if you could show me or prove to me that Justin Fields was so arrogant that he wouldn't even talk or listen to anything Nick Foles or Andy Dalton had to say, then I'm going to, rip Justin Fields. But if all of this is totally ridiculous and made up, which it very well could be, then I'm going to stay a big Justin Fields fan. And the fact of the matter is, I don't really know. And, if you're going to be an unnamed source and you're going to make claims like this, I'd rather not listen to them.
Yeah, you got to put your name on something like this if you're really going to make that news break.
I mean, here's my thought. The unnamed source themselves is arrogant and irresponsible. How do you like that?
Eberflus or something?
Whoever it is.
Tony, when there's smoke, is there fire?
No. What we do know is when things don't work out and they've gone the way they've gone, no matter who it is, it's like clockwork. They leave or they get traded, and here comes the story behind it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Their unnamed sources saying he didn't do this in the locker room, or he didn't do this on the practice field.
Leave him alone, Bears.
It's like it's not even just Josh. It's not even just Fields. It's like literally every situation that doesn't work out where, it's all peaches and roses, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, had a great career or he did some good stuff while he's there. If it didn't work out, people are going to trade, right? They make the trade. People are already like, we don't think you should trade him. So in order to save face, what do you got? Throw some dirt on his name a little bit, make it seem like he wasn't really that good of a teammate. And this is like you can almost predict. It's almost predictable that it's going to come.
How many tweets did we get last year from people who didn't want to put their name on the fact that they felt there was a rift somewhere and everywhere in the Padres clubhouse that was keeping them from being as good as they should have been?
100%.
How many times did we hear that one last year? Because Tony's right. It always happens when the team is, not performing to the level they, people will expect.
All right, that's it for the Big Five. And stick around for the 5 o'clock half hour because we have a very special interview with Kirk Kenney, and you're going to want to find out what he did because it was pretty incredible. So we'll talk to him in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll also talk about this game tonight between the Padres and the Rockies on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Annie from Annie and Elston. Sure, we'll talk Padres baseball every day, but we'll also discuss fun stories we find that impact you in your own lives.
Listen to Annie and Elston weekdays from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Are you tired of eating at the same restaurants? Try Spiro's Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. Spiro's menu is based on traditional family recipes passed down through generations. Their food is fresh and authentic, and it's delicious, which is why family-owned Spiro's has been serving San Diegans for over 25 years on Coronado, and now in downtown La Jolla. Go to Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine. For dining, takeout, or catering options, visit spiroscuisine.com.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, a lot of credit is given to adult students who take what they've learned throughout life and use it to learn more. Giving credit where credit is due is something UMGC does on a daily basis, literally. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's degree for prior learning or relevant experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. To learn how you could earn the credit you deserve to succeed again, visit UMGC at San Diego or visit umgc.edu.
Jake and Christine knew they needed help renovating their dream home. As a Pella advisor, I make sure every step of getting new windows and doors is smooth, including setting you up with our Pella Care Guarantee. It covers everything from product to installation, with some of the strongest warranties in the industry.
No interest if paid in full within 12 months. Other financing options available. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Visit PellaSanDiego.com/radio for more details.
Almost every week, kidney specialists at Sharp Healthcare perform a transplant from a living donor, like Caleb from North Park, who gave a kidney to a high school friend on dialysis. Sandra donated to a woman she met on TikTok. Terry, a father from Rancho Peñasquitos, gave a kidney to his adult son. But still, there's a list of 615 Sharp patients awaiting a kidney, surviving day by day, hoping for the life-changing call. But donating is easier than you may think. Kidneys come from friends, family, co-workers, and even from a complete stranger, like you. Adults can donate at any age, and you'll live normally, except for the privilege of forever knowing you saved a life. Learn how at sharp.com/givelife. 615 San Diegans are hoping you will.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in San Diego, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/San Diego. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC equal credit opportunity lender.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, Discover. It's Jennifer Coolidge, and your cashback match has inspired me.
Great. We love doubling the cashback you earn at the end of your first year.
I'm doubling everything now. I'm double dating. I'm double dipping.
Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Tony Gwynn Jr. here. Don't worry about missing Padres news. We'll update you on the latest on your way home. Gwynn and Chris, weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on 97.3 The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station. The workday is coming to an end.
It is 5 o'clock. I will see you all tomorrow.
But Gwynn and Chris are just getting started.
Sports talk it is.
Your hosts, Tony Gwynn Jr.
All I'm saying, it's a family of 6. I have a family of 6.
Oh my gosh, was it your family?
No, we were certainly not available.
The Gwynns don't sit in the deep left field corner, Skraby.
I'm sorry.
And Chris Ello.
The only guys that are paid money are guys that hit home runs and have high slugging and on-base percentages.
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Heading into the happy hour here, final get-together or two of this Tuesday program. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. at Petco Park. And Matt Skraby alongside here at the Odyssey Palace. We're coming up on Sam Levitt's EcoWater SoCal Padre pregame show. It gets underway at the bottom of this hour. He'll have all the stats and stories for you. Breaking down tonight's matchup between Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres. Where would they be without him?
That's a good question.
It's been pretty good. 5-2 with a 2.19 ERA. A whip of under 1. I mean, I don't know if he can pitch a lot better tonight than he did last game. 7 innings, 1 hit, 12 Ks in Chicago.
Well, he can.
Not much better.
No hitter.
Right. Cal Quantrill, who's actually pitched pretty well lately, will start for the suddenly robust Rockies. 5 straight wins for them. The longest winning streak in baseball. And such a nuisance to the Padres.
It's so annoying.
It really, truly is. We're going to hear from Manny Machado pregame in just a couple of minutes. We'll get some comments from Manny, including somebody who asked him straight up, are you going to keep shooting or keep swinging at first pitches? Because that seems to be the big argument online today and in the chat and last night in the social media world.
Yes.
Did Manny screw up royally by swinging at that first pitch in the bottom of the 9th inning? The answer to the question is, well, evidently he did because he grabbed it into a double play. That's right. But that's also sometimes what they call second guessing.
Yeah. Monday morning quarterbacking.
Monday morning quarterbacking, or in this case, Monday night baseball managing.
Well, yeah, it is Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true. It's Tuesday now.
Tuesday morning
quarterback. Very good. Before we go too much further, though, I just wanted to share. Kirk Kenney's going to be on the show in about 10 minutes. You know Kirk from the San Diego Union-Tribune. You know him because he comes on here. He covers Aztec football for us. He's always very good to the show. We also know that based on his visits that he's been on with us before,
yes,
he's a bit quirky.
Yes.
Kirk Kenney is. He's a quirky individual. He watches Bonanza. He loves old black and white television. You know, we all have our, things.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk Kenney is also in the midst of trying to set what I believe has got to be a Guinness Book of all-time world records of some sort.
It has to be.
It just has to be. And we're going to tell you what it's all about when we bring him on the show in about 10 minutes. But Skraby and I were a little part of this today.
Yeah, a very small part of it.
Very small part of it. But what Kirk Kenney is doing is, honestly, I think you're pretty much going to describe it in your own mind as flat out crazy.
Crazy.
But
he's done it.
He's doing it. He's done it. He continues to do it. And we'll tell you what it's all about in about 10 minutes. But before we went to see Kirk Kenney today, you and I, Skraby, it was my golf day.
Oh, yes.
Tuesday is my golf day.
Yes.
I got up in the morning. I got, dressed, packed, got the shoes, got everything lined up, ready to roll. Got the dog fed. Took care of Lori, everything we needed. Had a little breakfast.
We get what happened.
Well, my point is I was running around getting everything for the day ready.
Yes.
And then it was finally time to go play golf. Oh, long last. Jumped in the car, drove up to Loma Santa Fe, the executive course where me and my buddies play on Tuesdays. You played with us last week.
Mm-hmm.
And pulled up. I actually drove it's about a 35-minute drive with traffic, etc. Drove all the way up, got all the way into the parking lot, got all the way into my parking spot.
Wow.
Even began to put my shoes on before I realized that I forgot to bring my golf clubs.
What? Wait. You forgot to bring your golf clubs to golfing.
All of them. Like dumbest move ever.
So, did you go home?
No, I was too far away.
Wow. We were
crazy. Teeing off like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can you believe? I can't believe that I did that.
I can't either, because you are a guy who remembers things.
I'm crazy anal on stuff, but obviously not this time. The thing that gets me, there's a couple things that get me. A, how could I forget them in the first place?
Yeah.
Because they're in the garage. I have to actually pull the car out to make room, then get out of the car, go get the clubs and put them in the car and then drive away.
Okay.
So I somehow managed to drive away without doing that. But then how would I not at least once think of it in the 35-minute drive that, hey, I don't have my clubs? Like, it never dawned on me until I was actually there putting my shoes on. This has got to be one of the biggest brain
blanks
of all time. It's got to be.
I can't say. I'm trying to search. I can't say.
Can you
I've
think
ever
of
left my
anything you've
clubs
ever
at
done
home.
that crazy?
No, I may have left my shoes at home. I may have left.
I mean,
something at home.
I told the story to Tony earlier, and he said, I'm absent-minded, but even that's got me beat.
Yeah, that is absent-minded.
That's absent-minded, right?
That's pretty. So you just cobbled together some clubs.
I
from your
cobbled
friends?
together some clubs from my partners, my playing partners, and I just kind of hit a shot here and a shot there, and used a different putter on every hole.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a crazy day. The golf was neither really near here nor there. By the time I played, I was just so flustered and so, just like bamboozled that I could make a mistake like this.
Yeah, that would be hard to get past. That would be really hard to get past.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
We're getting old.
I'm glad it.
We're
Don't
getting
let
old.
me in.
I'm getting old. All right. I told that story so that if you did something kind of what you consider to be silly today, you can at least compare it to me, and you can probably say to yourself, well, what I did wasn't that bad.
Wasn't that bad. I didn't drive to a golf course and forget my golf clubs.
It wasn't that bad.
That's pretty good.
All right, Manny Machado. Interviewing him before the game was the media throng at Petco Park. This in the wake of Manny grounding into the game-ending double play last night after the Padres had loaded the bases. This after our listeners and chat people all day long have been referring to Manny Machado as a guy that will never hit in the clutch again. And Tony and I having to try to rebuke such ridiculous commentary. Anyway, Manny Machado was asked his mindset heading into the ball game tonight, and if he's going to keep swinging at first pitches. Yes, he was actually asked.
The last at-bat, saw a pitch that you thought you could do damage on and swung? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I mean, that situation, up and in, good pitch to drive. I mean, I just, got the head out, hit it to the wrong guy.
How disappointing is 11 walks and all those opportunities and not being able to win?
Yeah, like I said, I've said it all along, all year. I'm continuing to say. I mean, as long as we keep having those opportunities, that's a good thing to have. So let's keep doing it. Sometimes we're gonna have some good days and drive them all in, and some days we're gonna have like good days. Last night it was just a little harder for us to get them in. But let's just keep creating those opportunities, getting walks, getting on base for the next guy, passing the baton, and trusting your team is gonna have your back to pick you up.
You've had success throughout your career, swing first pitch in a situation like that where a guy's
I'm never gonna stop. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Right.
Done it my entire career. I'm not gonna stop now. Why now? So it's a good pitch. I mean, I just hit it right to the guy. It's just it's how baseball is. There's 8 defenders out there, or actually 7.
Is part of the thought process there too? I mean, you had walked a bunch of guys before you. Like, I might not get a better pitch than that first one.
I mean, listen. You look at that bat. He threw strikes. He walked guys. Yeah, he walked guys, but it was on 3-2 counts. I mean, he was throwing strikes. It wasn't like he was going 4 balls, go to first. Next guy, 4 balls, go to first. 4 balls, go to first. I mean, that was the situation. Yeah, for sure. You go and you take a pitch, but I mean, guys were getting pitches to hit. Toddy got some pitches to hit, just fouled them off, and then Crony got some pitches to hit as well, fouled them off. So, I mean, that's not a situation you go up there and you take a pitch. I mean, that's probably gonna be the best pitch you would have thrown me. I just didn't execute. That's what it was. And if the situation comes again, and the pitch is right there again, I'm gonna make the same swing. Hopefully, I make the adjustment and I get it in the air, or I even hit it out of the ballpark like I wanted to. But not ground into a double play.
All right, that guest appearances on that by Kevin Acey and Dennis Lin. First of all,
from them.
Yeah, good for those guys. They asked the question that all you wanted, to hear the answer to.
Yeah, he had good answers, actually.
And his answers make a lot of sense.
They do.
To all of those who said, well, he walked everybody, so he should take a pitch, his point was, yeah, he threw a lot of strikes in there, too.
It was 3. Those are things I just don't think of, honestly. Those are things I need to start paying attention more.
You know, we all learn as we go along. And, you know, he said, look, that's the best pitch I'm going to get to hit. I got to swing. He could have won the game if that ball is shot through the hole. Padres win. Instead, it was grounded right to McMahon, and it's Rockies win. That's baseball. And, you know, to me, if he hit a soft tapper to short and, you know, mangled the whole thing, then you can be a little critical. But he hit a hard ground ball. Just happened to be right at that guy.
It was 105 miles an hour off the bat. I think ultimately he's going to do what he's going to do. And if he doesn't swing at that pitch and he doesn't get another pitch and he strikes out or something like that, people are asking why he didn't swing at that pitch.
Well, there's a lot of things you can second guess in a loss like that one because there were so many opportunities.
Well, there were, yeah.
You know,
that's a whole different story.
Right. I mean, Campusano got to a 3-0 count with the bases loaded in the 8th inning, took a strike, and then swung.
Yeah.
Well, he could have waited for one more, but he thought, you know, he had a good pitch to hit. He had a line drive. The guy caught it in right center field. The inning is over. That's I don't know what you're supposed to do. You hit the ball, you know, where it's pitched and put a good swing on it. Anyway, it was a disappointing loss. That's not going to change that.
But if they win tonight, all is forgiven.
No, it isn't.
Why?
All will only be forgiven if they win tonight and tomorrow.
Okay.
And they win the series.
There you go. They need to win their fifth
Then
series
I'll
in a row.
forgive all. If they win tonight, I'll forgive some. But they win tonight and tomorrow, then I'll forgive all.
Can we also talk about the people that are saying that Campy should have leaned into a pitch to get hit?
No. Yeah. Good
do we want
try.
to lose the guy for like 3 weeks? They would have been right in the ribs.
I got an idea. All of you saying that,
Go it.
Stand out there in front of a major league fastball
But
and
Chris,
just take
we don't
it.
get paid like he does, and Campy doesn't get paid that much, I don't believe.
He gets paid plenty, but I'm sorry. Look, we've talked about this before. When you used to be, back in the day when you were taught how to hit batters, you actually threw the ball behind them because your instincts make you back up right into the ball.
Yeah.
It is an instinct to try to get out of a 100-mile-per-hour moving projectile.
Yes.
There's not many people that can just say, oh, it's coming right at my shoulder and ribs.
Your brain kind of does this thing.
I'm just going to stand here.
The brain does this thing where it says, you have to get out of the way or else you're going to be injured.
There's something called a survival mode that all of us, I think, have.
I think so.
And if we didn't have it, we might be in some trouble.
Yes.
It saves us in many situations, including when it's time to try to get out of the way of the pitch. You people are crazy on the chat. But God love you. Keep being crazy. Speaking of crazy, Kirk Kenny might have us all beat. The San Diego Union Tribune reporter joins us next. What is he up to that may break a world record? We'll find out after traffic.
From the
Odyssey.com.
All right, final segment of Gwynn and Chris today before we send it down to Petco Park and Sam Levitt's Eco Water, SoCal, Padre pregame show. Padres and Rockies, a little after 6:30. Our good friend Kirk Kenny from the San Diego Union Tribune joins us in the wake of a birthday celebration today.
Yes.
So happy birthday to you, Kirk Kenny. The birthday celebration took place at the Chick-fil-A restaurant in Forest Ranch this afternoon. Lots of family and friends were there. Kirk joins us out there. Kirk, please explain to everybody why this party today took place at Chick-fil-A in Forest Ranch.
Well, they had a good bouncy house in the middle. Didn't you see that? They had like a nice little playground.
I don't think that's what it was all about.
Oh, okay.
Kirk, hello, sir.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
First off, my birthday's 1 month from today, so you can have me back then.
I'm a little early on that. I
You're
knew it was
early.
the 14th.
But if you bought me something, I will welcome taking it now.
My pleasure. I thought that's why the surprise party was for today, for your birthday.
No, the whole thing was about the streak, which is, I guess, why you have me on today.
Yes. Okay. Tell us about the streak then.
Okay. The streak is that I have eaten at Chick-fil-A 1,057 straight days that they've been open. And
that's worth a gasp.
You almost have to say that again, Kirk, so that we can really get it and understand it. 1,057 days in a row you've eaten at Chick-fil-A, except for the Sundays when they're closed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. I have
go ahead.
questions.
No, go ahead. If you have questions.
My question is, since it is closed on Sundays, did you buy, 2 sandwiches on Saturdays so that you could eat on Sunday? Or was Sunday kind of your cheat day from this Chick-fil-A diet you have?
I've thought later in the streak, I thought about doing that, but I have not done that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Not that I did not have chicken, but I won't say where I would go for chicken that day.
Fair enough. All right, tell us a little bit why you started this streak, and tell us. I mean, has it come close to ending by any crazy stretch, or have you been able to just keep it going? I mean, this is over 3 years that you've been going to Chick-fil-A every day, Kirk.
Well, I saw a billboard that said "Eat more chicken," and I kind of took it to heart.
Yeah, evidently,
you definitely did.
That billboard seems to work for you.
It was kind of born out of the COVID. We were stuck at home all the time, and my one kind of trip to get out was to get something to eat, and I started eating at the Chick-fil-A that's about 3 miles from my house. I started eating there a lot, and one of the people finally suggested, they said, you come here so much, you ought to try and come every day and have a streak going. So December 2020, I started coming every day, and we at first tried to get it to be 1 year, and I knocked out that, and then it just kept going. I'm pretty good at starting streaks. I'm not good with an exit strategy, so I don't know how to end.
Yeah. Someone on the chat called you the Cal Ripken Jr. of chicken sandwiches. That's from Timothy, which is true.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2632, and that I've got about 10 years to go, I think, to get to that. Maybe I can get to Gary at 2130.
I don't know. 1057's quite a few. Kirk Kenny is with us. He goes to Chick-fil-A every day. He does a great job reporting on the Aztecs for the San Diego Union Tribune. He's a good friend of the show. Kirk, is there an actual, say Guinness Book of World Records or something out there that you honestly could be shooting for? Or are you honestly just going to kind of go for as long as you go?
Right now, just keep going as long as I go. I read a couple of years ago there was some guy, I think in Carmel Mountain Ranch, had gone 100 straight days and kind of blew past that, no problem. So that guy might want to double down.
He might want to step up his game a little bit.
I will say the folks knew him pretty well today. They had they had the Chick-fil-A mascot
they
out
there.
there.
They had the cow out there.
I mean, my goodness, they celebrated Kirk's arrival with great fanfare.
All right, I got another question.
As they should.
Yeah, of course they should. I mean, you're doing something spectacular here now. Is this going to be on the news at all tonight? There was cameras there. Are they just covering
I think it was breaking news earlier today, so I don't know if they're still going to keep going.
It broke in. It broke in.
They broke into some trial stuff on some of the channels.
Oh, is there something else going on in the world that we should be caring about?
I got one question from the chat. Well, I got a multiple part.
There's
question.
a lot of questions.
I told Kirk when I saw him earlier, I'm gonna have about 25 questions.
I know.
But okay, what was your order? And the specific question from the chat is, did you eat any sauces?
Of course. And so the other thing during COVID, I was trying to lose some weight, and one thing I started watching was calorie counts on various things. And so I almost always get the number one meal, which is a chicken sandwich, fries, and a drink. But I started substituting in a side salad. And the other thing I noticed was Chick-fil-A sauce. Each of those little things is 140 calories.
Whoa!
And I never who knew, right?
No, yeah.
So I sub in honey mustard, which is only 40 calories. And then I drink iced tea rather than soda because iced tea is 0 calories.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then you asked about the streak and coming close to it ending.
Yeah.
So my go-to place is Chick-fil-A Del Sur. So a little shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
But like when I'm on the road covering the Aztecs or something, I've had to make sure before I go, either I make sure my hotel is close to a Chick-fil-A. When I was at the Mountain West meetings in Vegas last year, it turned out there was a Chick-fil-A inside the hotel next to mine, so that worked out well.
Yeah.
Up at Oregon State, I ended up going to a Chick-fil-A in Washington on one day and a Chick-fil-A in Oregon the next day. And last year I went to 6 different states to see Chick-fil-A's to make sure the streak continued.
Wow.
I've come close a couple times to missing. Luckily, the Mira Mesa Chick-fil-A is open till midnight, so I was able to get there a couple times to keep it going when I missed it, like at the 9 or 10 o'clock closing on some of the other ones.
You know, your lovely wife, Leanne, had us out there for the big party today, and we want to make sure that everybody understands Kirk has this streak going not because he doesn't enjoy his wife's cooking. It has nothing to do with that. It's because he's kind of a crazy guy, and he's gotten this streak going, and now, like you said, you don't know how to get out of it. I don't know. I hope that they kind of celebrate you, maybe a little commercial or something for you, Kirk. I mean, come on, they got to do something.
They got to get me on the red couch. That's kind of my big goal in life now, is to get on the red couch. So
you deserve it.
Maybe we can get a social media uprising to get me on the red couch.
We definitely have people that like to fight for causes. So let's get Kirk Kenny on that Chick-fil-A red couch in that commercial.
1,000.
And if they want to start a GoFundMe as well, that's good.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to put myself out there for that, but I will give you all the support for the red couch. Now, last question is, when you were doing this streak, was there ever a day where you're just like, I don't want to go today.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't eat the chicken today.
Not today.
And you just force yourself. Did that come up?
No, strangely enough, one thing that helps is I really like chicken.
Yes, that does help.
That's been kind of essential to the streak, and I don't know, every day I just feel like a good chicken sandwich. One thing about life, there's so much about life that gets you here and there and everywhere. It's nice to have a routine sometimes, and I've kind of felt good knowing I'm going to have that chicken sandwich each day.
It's one decision you don't have to worry about each day.
That's true.
No, I heard Albert Einstein, only had white shirts in his closet. It made it easy to dress every day.
Well, I only have black shirts in the closet, so I'm like Albert Einstein.
Okay, that's the closest that'll ever come to happening.
Oh, man.
All
this
right,
is
Kirk
good
Kenny, great story. Happy early birthday.
Yes.
Thanks for involving us in the surprise party today. Thank Leanne again for us.
Absolutely.
And, continue enjoying the Chick-fil-A. And, of course, you're back on the show anytime you want to. And we'll catch up with you on the Aztecs and whatever else. But thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I'll be there at lunch tomorrow. If you guys want to get your streak today, too, then come on by.
Oh, that's right. We could be up to 2 tomorrow.
I'm focusing on the quitting drinking thing.
You're still trying to get past
streak.
that. Yeah,
that's my streak.
That's a good streak to continue. All right, thanks, Kirk. Talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Kirk Kenny there. Seems a little crazy, but when you hear him talk about it, not so strange maybe.
No, not so strange. It's the I have trouble with doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and that's what basically going to Chick-fil-A every day is. I would have trouble with this.
Yeah, well, 1,057 days. That's a
lot.
long
That's a
time.
lot.
I think you should at least get Guinness involved, the Book of Records or something.
I thought you meant like the
I
beer
know
or
you
something.
did. That's why I tried to clear that up.
The book of the Guinness,
the World Book of Records.
I
you know what I mean?
There's got to be someone who has more days, right?
Well, maybe somewhere else, but why? Chick-fil-A. Why would that be the record there?
Days at Chick-fil-A.
You think it's actually a record in the book somewhere?
Oh wow!
Come on.
Wow.
What?
There was a Washington Examiner article saying a guy in Texas did it, his 1,000th visit on February 23rd, 2023. So we need to research this, Chris.
Oh, Kirk's close to that person.
We need to research. Well, I don't know if they're still going, but they need to research.
Kirk's past 1,000.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get going. Sammy Lev doing his 1,057 straight Padre pregame show.
You might be right.
Pretty close to that streak. Coming up next, Padres looking for win number 1 in a row. Rockies trying for 6 in a row. Gwynn and Chris back tomorrow after Padre baseball. Caitlin Clark, 7 points in her debut tonight at halftime. Her team, Indiana, trails Connecticut by 10. We'll see you later. Thanks to Kirk. Thanks
see ya.
to Skraby and Tony.